Hello, welcome to Hammers Chat Transfer Deadline Day Special. Gonzo, how is oneself?
Grumpy.
Why?
Grumpy. Why? Mood. Mood is bad. The mood is bad. Why? Because I'm actually disgusted with the transfer window, actually. In fact, we've done the transfer window much like Nuno Espirito Santo manages his games. We started off really well. We got to the end and we're sort of capitulating, really. We've brought nowhere near enough players in. There was talk about balancing the squad. The squad is more imbalanced than when we started. There's just no ambition from the board at all. They appear to have made a profit rather than, well, asked anybody in December. And it was a case that what they were going to have to do was dip into their pockets and spend some of their own money. How much was Sullivan going to put in? How much was Kretinsky going to put in? How much were they going to spend? Were they going to use the overdraft? They've made a profit. They've saved on transfer fees. They've saved on wages. And I'll tell you what I'm really annoyed about is you look at what Wolverhampton Wanderers are doing. They are preparing for the Championship. We're doing neither. We're not preparing for the Championship and we're not spending to stay in the top division either. So I honestly, we get to this point now. I don't want any of them to make another single decision unless it's ordering another pack of paper clips or something like that. They must make no more decisions at West Ham. They just need to be driven out now. They just need to be driven out.
West Ham United fan says no suits, no ties, no transfers.
Right.
No hope, nothing.
No hope, no.
I think it's absolutely pathetic. It's really
what?
Pathetic.
My clobber.
No, you made more effort than I have.
Okay.
I did debate it earlier. I was coming up the stairs, but it was like 10-2, and I thought, do I have time to go?
Yeah.
Get out and stuff. I thought, oh, I'm not sure. I'll just go. And do you know what? I thought I can't be bothered. And it's no reflection of Gonzo. There's no reflection of you guys. It's just my mood today. It's not felt like deadline day. This morning I woke up and I thought, oh, it's deadline day. Usually there's a little bit of a buzz. I couldn't be arsed today, so I did a YouTube short instead of doing an actual video, right? Because I thought, well, that'll do. I can't be bothered speaking about Disassi for 10 minutes, so a 90-second video, that'll do. And then during the my plan was, I thought I'll do the short now, do the Tartan Geo video, do player ratings, have lunch, then do a normal video for YouTube. Yeah. Had lunch and I thought, you know what? I can't even be arsed. I can't even be bothered. There's nothing. I've just got nothing. I've got no motivation, no excitement. But how can you have that when you look at the business that we've done in the January transfer window? Because they're not showing anything. What you said is absolutely right. We're not preparing for the Championship and we're not trying to stay up either. We're doing a bit of both. And that's the most stupid thing to do, because is Tate going to be here next season? Probably not. How much will we get for him? 10 million. Okay, so we'll probably made a £50 million loss on a player for 6 months if we go down. Well, that's really intelligent, isn't it? Brilliant. Nice one. Very clever. Just it was so predictable, though. So predictable. And the thing is, right, this is a dangerous thing to say because of Nuno at the minute, but I'm going to say it. I'm gonna say it. So we got beat by Forest. They did nothing in the transfer window. They ain't got La Madrid, but that counts as nothing.
Yeah,
did nothing. Then we beat Spurs and we beat Sunderland, and they still did fuck all. Let me pose this question to you. Let me pose this question. What if after Sunderland we went out and got a Charlie Cresswell and 2-0 up away to Chelsea? He's on the bench, and you go, do you know what? On you go. What happens if we'd gone and bought a really good centre-back last week so that he was coming onto the pitch and not Max Kilman? Now, I don't think Max Kilman actually was terrible, but it's the mentality, it's the whole thing around it. What happens if we'd actually gone and been adequate for the last 2 weeks in the transfer window? What if? We might have got an extra point. We might have won, but we might have just drawn that game instead. You just never know. They gave up. And honestly, I know there's a lot of criticism for Nuno, and I understand that. And I will also criticize him game by game. But the board, it stops with them because they're the ones that are saying, we're going down. There's nothing we can do. We're getting relegated. We speak about messaging often on this channel. What messaging are they sending? They're telling the fans, oh, we're going to get relegated. By the way, can you renew your season ticket? Would you mind doing that in a few months? Would you mind giving us your money again? Can you turn up for the rest of the season? What's the point? When Jeff Stelling said if they're going to give up, well, give the fans half their season ticket money back if you're going to give up. And I thought, all right, Jeff, bit harsh, but actually, do you know what? That's what they're doing. They're giving up. I can't stand it, Gonzo. I just can't stand it.
Yeah, I mean, just look at what they haven't done, but what they've actually done something quite remarkable if you think about it, because I can only talk about myself, but I do believe it's mirrored elsewhere. There was an apathy towards West Ham. And they've got no idea what is coming towards them. They've got no idea of the tsunami they've started now, because they have not shown any appetite or any effort to keep us in the Premier League. They are dysfunctional and they are ill prepared. And what they've done is, because what happened is, I think with me, I've been angry, then I've got resigned to relegation, and I've become a little bit apathetic. I'm angry again.
Yeah,
And I'm not.
I agree.
There you go. I'm not on my own there, and they have no idea. I think they think that they've seen off the protests. I think I honestly, I really do. I think they think we've seen it off. They've had their noise. They've done the sit-in. They've done their march. They've done their petition. They've this, that, and the other. They've done their banners. They've done their stuff. We've seen them off. I don't think they've got a clue what's about to hit them. I really, really don't. And yeah, shame on them. Shame on them.
I think I said in the watch along, because people were asking about the fans that got banned. Now we've got someone coming on tonight that's been banned. He was one of the people banned. So the live chat, when we've got guests on, from 6:15 all the way through till 8 o'clock. So you can ask guests the questions specific to them. And we've got one of the people that were banned coming on, so you can ask him questions. But on the watch along, I said the club have really fucked up. Read the room. It quieted down a little bit. It quieted down a little bit with the protests and stuff. And then that banner come out, and not much was made about it. And the club went and slapped them with bans, and it's riled everyone up again. And people that aren't banned are getting riled up and saying, hang on a minute, this is bang out of order. Journalists are reporting it. Oh, West Ham are banning fans for bringing in a banner and stuff like that. It's really throwing fuel on the fire. And now the end of the transfer window as well. The club really failed. If they read the room after that win against Sunderland, they would have said, right, let's get a couple of players in, because we might just keep them at the door. But they haven't. They've just shot their own door off and said, didn't you come on and have a go at us. Come and have a pop at us. It's just pathetic, really. Absolutely pathetic.
Well, it is. And you hear this Disassi deal might be tricky. No one gives a shit. Because
there's a lack of
because we've just had all month. And no one, it's not only nobody wants to hear it, you better not say it. You better not say the phrase that you know, which is whatever we tried, or it was difficult, and you better not say that, because it is the 2nd of February now. The window opened on the 1st of January. It was a centre back was a priority position then. That was before what happened to Todibo. I honestly I couldn't believe it, and I got listen, we got other guests coming on. I've got to say this because we covered it in Patreon player ratings this morning. We got Nuno, who was. This is why your coach has to. This is why you've got to have a director of football. This is why you've got to have a director of football. It's crazy, right? So your coach will have a preferred style of play, and ideally a system and a formation. That formation needs to be mirrored throughout the academy and stuff like that, right? So anyway, so Nuno's had a little look at it. He's had a tinker, and he's thought, actually, I think what we're going to need here is we're going to go 4-4-2. That's what we're going to do. Tactically, for all the reasons everybody has seen in the last 2 or 3 games. That tactic is reliant on the 2 basically workhorses as strikers who are going to run around. They're going to close everyone down. They're going to run around so much it makes up for the fact that we don't have as many midfielders. That, in its sense, is going to occupy some of the defenders. The defenders are going to have to occupy people, and the midfielders are going to have to drop back and probably help out, and it's going to free up Bowen and Somerville. As a tactic, it's actually worked. The trouble is they have to work so hard, they empty their fuel tank within 60 minutes of 2 strikers. Now, that's fine, as long as you can replace them with 2 other high-energy strikers. And I made this point this morning. strikers that don't score goals are not particularly expensive. The world is littered with strikers who can't hit the back of the net, but they'll give you everything and they'll run all day. We didn't even have to spend much to get 2 reserve strikers, which would have meant if they sit on the bench and they come on, they just run around loads. We don't have to change our system. All right? And not just the system, the dynamic and the intent with which we play. At that point, Nuno has to say to the board, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to play this way. I'm going to need 4 strikers. Or at least 3, maybe 1 running around. You might get on with Wilson as well. Maybe, just maybe. But I need 4, and I need the centre back as well. Oh, and by the way, because we're playing 4-4-2, bearing in mind we've got rid of Guilherme, I'm probably going to need Traore, who didn't look great, and maybe another one, maybe one that's ready to go. This is what you do. This is what you discuss. And it has not been done, and they have failed miserably. And now what we've done is we're going to have a situation now. If he carries on playing this way, and this is if only if no one gets injured, I wouldn't be surprised if I was someone else playing against West Ham. Actually, let's us sit tight. Let's let them blow themselves out. Let's do a rope-a-dope. Let's let them blow themselves out, and then we get them in the last half hour of the game. That's what we'll do. We'll pick them off, and as it is almost like there's been no conversation. It's like they had a conversation on the 1st of January, and then they didn't have another one. I'm talking about Nuno and the board in terms of where the club. It's like I got towards the end. Oh, do you still want Traore? Fulham said you can have him now. Oh, yeah, we'll still get him. What about a centre back? Oh, we're struggling to get a centre back in. What? It's I can't see any other club that's run like us.
Well, remember at the start of the window, the leaks were Nuno's targets are too ambitious. That was the leaks coming out of the club that they couldn't get his targets. Right, this is Gonzo's. Well, he's the co-host and whatever. He's kind of technically the first guest of the evening as well. So you got any questions for Gonzo? Get them in. We've got a few more minutes.
Fashion ones are fine.
Other one will be in. Well, there is a fashion one. It's from Ionix. Thank you very much for the support, Ionix. Saying, why is Gonzo wearing Sullivan's dinner jacket?
I stole it off him.
Fits you snugly as well. And not all crap, boys. We welcomed a little hammer over the weekend. Well, Andy, thank you very much for the support. Congratulations to yourself,
mate.
And what's the name of the little hammer? If we're allowed to ask. Also to Ross saying, "Der Spunk Goblin strikes again." We are.
Well, he doesn't. He didn't strike. There was precious little gobbling going on, to be fair.
And also to Mark saying, abandon the stream, do an under 21 watch along. We always do a deadline day stream, and I'll be honest with you, Mark, I really enjoyed them because we always get a little bit silly. We have a laugh, and it's a good rant to have if you want to rant and stuff like that. I enjoy my watch alongs as well, but tonight it's this. Wow, fucking hell. Sorry, Mark. Wow, Mark.
Mark, you're a very generous man, is Mark.
He is a very generous man.
He is a very, very generous man.
Saying, where's the suits? Gonzo's technically got a suit on.
I have. I thought I had a yellow shirt. I didn't. I don't know why I thought I had one, but I didn't. There you go.
Lastly, Cardle saying Nuno wants a payout. He doesn't care what happens. That's what I want to ask you before we get the guest on, Gonzo. Brian also says, I also cannot get a sticker off the back of the middle of his back.
Like a Dharma try. I can't because this jacket's too small, with it being David Sullivan's and everything.
This is the question, Gonzo. I'll give you 15 seconds to give your answer because I've got a couple more questions. But the question is in relation to the previous one about Nuno wanting a payout from Cardle, saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Nuno calls the board out on transfers now in his interviews. Something we've seen at Nottingham Forest. Do you think that's what we'll see? I'll come to you in a second. And Reece said, even that, chaps, thanks for all your content and hard work. As a percentage, what do each of you give us a chance of being dropped? You know what, Reece, I'm going to ask all our guests tonight that exact question and see what they all say. And also to Laburo saying, Gonzo's got Playboy swagger in his man cave, like Hugh Hefner's mansion, minus the birds.
Definitely minus the birds. Definitely.
Right, Gonzo, and before you disappear, Gonzo, Nicky, how you doing?
Hello, mate. How are you? Sorry, I was just reading something. Yeah. Hello, gents. Hello.
What are you reading? Is it interesting?
No, not at all. It's about the transfer news. So yeah, it's not
a quick read.
Sorry, mate. Yeah, it was about the transfer news, so it wasn't interesting at all. So,
Gonzo, before you head off, then, do you think Nuno might call the board out?
Well, I hope he does. I think that would be brilliant. It would endear him to the fans more. But yeah, I mean, as I've said all along, I'm quite prepared to think that the board are useless. And actually, I'm not particularly impressed with the manager at the moment. So I don't want to go all, because the board are horrendous Nuno's brilliant. I don't know. If they have stitched him up, I'd love to hear about it. And if they have, I would not blame him for walking. And in fact, if that's happened at any point, maybe there's even a case that someone needs to do it. But who knows? Who knows? I mean, to be fair to him, they've got. I don't know about Disasi. I just don't know. But I do believe that Tati, Pablo, and Traore, Nuno wanted all those three players. So he may look and think, well, actually, they have backed me. But listen, it's nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough.
Yeah, perfect. Right, Gonzo, thank you very much.
Oh,
I'll see you later on.
5%.
5% chance of staying up.
Yeah.
All righty. Okay.
All
right.
right.
Cheers,
See you,
Gonzo.
See you,
right.
mate. Yeah.
Positive, Nicky. Nicky, you've been a bit of a positive panda recently. You've been cheering me up, actually. I've been feeling miserable tuning into your videos and getting a bit of an uplift, actually. Are you still feeling it?
I am. There's a lot of football left to play. I think, it's easy to look at the negatives, and I think you've got to look at the positives because, as bad as Nuno's done and as bad as, the substitutes and the mistakes he keeps on making, fact of the matter is this: he's got a couple of players in of his own, and we've greatly improved over the last two managers. Probably the best football I've seen since mid-Moyes era.
Yeah.
So that's what you've got to, whether we can sustain it enough to win enough games. But I've seen enough there. I've seen enough positives out there that we can. If we don't, we don't. We're in no worse position. Everyone's already written us off anyway. So if we don't, we don't. We haven't lost nothing. But I think we're going to get out of this. I do.
Do you know some of your hopes of staying up may have hinged on us doing business in the transfer window? And I think that's a fair thing because when Nuno initially came in, Nicky, I thought, right, all you've got to do, is keep us in touching distance until the January transfer window. Then it gives us an opportunity to get some players out. And I think we've moved on the Deadwood. The players, when you come in, if you said to me, what players do you want to get out of the club? I would have said, well, Fulkrug, Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse. I think we've actually got rid of the ones I'd have been happy to see go. But I was naively expecting us to then bring in the reinforcements in the right amount of players as well as some of the quality. Do you think we've done that?
I think we've addressed some of the issues. The only problem is, and I think it was an energy issue and an effort issue. I'm going to be honest with you because, I've been to, beginning of the season. We've got, listen, I know we've lost Paquetá, and I know a lot of people are upset about that. But at the end of the day, the man didn't want to be here. And when you're in the middle of a relegation dogfight and you've got a man that don't want to be there, there's no point in having him there because they're not going to do anything for you. And then I see the criticisms about the two forwards that we bought, but they've bought energy. And that is what we've been lacking. We've been lacking something, a bit of high press. But the main thing that does concern me, and I don't want to come off the positive hype, is the defensive issues that we've got, the centre-back pairings and all that. And I think they've greatly improved just through, picking the right partnership, playing with the right players. We're still not keeping clean sheets, which is a problem, a massive issue. But I think the issue is we're down to the bare bones. We see Mavropanos fall on his neck last week and we didn't know what the problem was. We knew we had these issues from August, whatever date we kicked off, August 13th or whatever it was, or 26th or whatever it was. And we're waiting to the last day to see if we get in a geezer that hasn't played any football. It's why we've left it this late because it is beyond me. It's incompetence. I don't know what Nuno's role in it. But that being said, I do believe we can get out of it because of what we have signed. I think there's enough there that we can fight, and I'm more confident going into the, because somebody said to me, "What would you take it if you got to Leeds and it was a 50-50, like a playoff game? Would you fancy beating them?" And I looked at the bunch of players. I thought, no, I wouldn't. But if we got to that point now at the London Stadium, I fancy us. So, he has addressed some of the issues. The problem is the day we've got to sign someone and the day we've got to get some quality in, our best centre half now is out for 3 games because of a stupid decision he made at the end of a game. The next 3 are going to be crucial in terms of the next one, especially is going to be crucial. I know he only misses the Man United and Burnley league games, but the Burnley one is crucial to get them points there. You lose that, I think that is pretty much curtains. So, yeah, go and get someone. We've got to get someone to hit the ground running. You know, looking at a geezer on loan that hasn't played any football since April is not. You know, it doesn't fill me with confidence, to be honest. But there we go.
Yeah, and we've got a question here for you, Nicky. If anyone's got questions for Nicky, get into the live chat beneath the headphones. Just saying, have we spent the Paqueta money already?
Absolutely. That money was never going to go out. We'd spent that on Pablo and Tati, which makes it concerns me because, well, it doesn't concern me, but it just shows you what they're doing is that they was pretending they didn't want to sell him. It was always going to come at the end of the window, and it was always going to come at a time when they could turn around and go, well, we didn't have the time to spend it. That was always going to happen. We'd already spent that money. We've got not a pot to piss in. It's the Paqueta money and the Guilherme money, by the way. It's not just Paqueta money.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's why when we spent all that money on Pablo and Tati at the start, it was a surprise. I think it was a surprise for me. It was like, wow, what are we spending this money? But as soon as you do, you're thinking, well, what's the catch here? And then once Paqueta left, it came out that he informed the club actually before Christmas that he wanted to leave. He was like, right, there you go. There's the answer. The club knew. On the 1st of January, the club knew Paqueta was going at some point this month. So it was like, well, we might get 35 million for him. So let's go spend it now. And hopefully
They did similar with the Payet situation with Snodgrass and players that they signed like that. They'd already spent the money. They knew Payet was going. There was no way he was ever going to stay. And this was the same thing with Paquetá. Paquetá would probably gone into the, marched into the boardroom and said, look, I'm going. Go and buy some players because come the 31st of January, if I'm not out the door, I'm not playing for you anymore.
Yeah.
100%. So, it's already predetermined, but they done it towards the end. I think they was targeting this game in specific for him to make his debut because it was a cup game. And they thought he was going to be the hero. I don't know whether you saw his debut, but it was a fucking atrocious, to be quite honest with you. Yeah. It looked like he had a back issue. But the chance he missed at the end and going down 2-0. A better debut for a snake, to be honest. So,
did he get booked?
I don't know, but I don't know whether he had 2-0 on his scorecard because that chance was.
I've seen the chance. I've seen the chance right at the end as well. Rich just wants to say the pessimism in the chat's unreal. So well done to yourself for pointing out the team has more energy and is looking much better. Is it too late though? That's the question. I personally think it is, Nicky. I think we'll pick up a reasonable amount of points between now and the end of the season. I think we will. If you look at the form table before Chelsea, you look at the form table and you can pick 6 games, 10 games, 15 games. We're sitting 10 to 15. We're in there. The problem is sort of Nottingham Forest and Leeds United. That's the issue. This isn't like a few seasons ago where you did okay. There was someone there to catch and sorted, but actually the teams just above us are picking up as well. And I think we need either Palace to remain horrendous, and they didn't look very good against Nottingham Forest yesterday. Plus, they've just bid 20 million for Dwight McNeil, which feels like a really bad deal. Yeah. And also, Mateta's not going to AC Milan, so he's got to go back to Palace. And how do you sort that out? The guy's burnt all bridges, so there's a real issue.
He's got a bad injury, so he might not even be playing anymore. So it looks like they've spent all their money on. I think they've done a similar thing, and apparently he's going to be out for 4 months now. So
they're trying to get Stan Larson in, who hasn't done much this season. I think he's a good signing, possibly, but it feels risky. I feel like Palace, if they're a little bit closer to us than 9 points, and maybe fancy it, but we do play them. And I think that's important as well. So hypothetically, if we win that game, in theory, there's only then 6 points between us. So can you catch them? Maybe we can squeeze something out of there. West Ham boy saying, would you give up going home and away if it meant Sullivan left?
What, me personally? If it meant he went? That's a tough one.
You can say no. You can be a bit selfish. You're allowed to be selfish.
For the greater good, I would say yes. But it doesn't matter, and I said this the other day, I will always follow that football club. It doesn't matter who's in charge. And I will always fight for it. But if that was what it took, if they turn around and personally went, if Nicky Hawkins don't come to this ground anymore, home and away, then we will leave. And I'd say, yeah, definitely, 100%.
Reefer's asking, would you have taken, or would you still take Raheem Sterling?
I would have took him over Traore, probably.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, I don't see the point in having a pair of them, but I'd have took him over Traore. I really would have.
It depends on the finances and deal involved, but assuming it's nothing stupid.
If it was
sensible.
the same deal, the same money, I think I would have took Sterling over Traore.
Yeah, I agree with yourself. I think at the end of the day, all he has to do, well, we don't really have an alternative to Somerville. Sterling's best position's on the left-hand side, and we don't have a backup to Somerville. There isn't one. Arguably, it's Adama. So is he better than Adama? Absolutely. And I know he's not played much football recently, but I think he's still better than Adama.
For end product. Yeah. If I think you've got to think about what he's in a Chelsea team that's got billions of pounds. He's getting on a bit. He's sort of that mid-level. He's sort of that mid-level player now, but he's still got the qualities in him. He played for Arsenal last year. They must have seen something in him. I know he didn't play much, but there we go.
Yeah, I pointed out last week that he's played for Chelsea. He's played a similar amount of games as to what Neto's now played for Chelsea, and Raheem Sterling's actually got more goals and assists than Neto does. And Neto's like a fantastic winger. Corky's asking you what your favourite away stadium is.
Stadium? What's my favourite away stadium? I always like Palace. Palace is a decent one. I know it's a little bit of an old one. I do like Burnley because it reminds me of the old Upton Park. The shape of it, the way it's built, and the age of it. Yeah, that's a tough one. I don't really thought about it. To be anyone that we win at, there we go. About that one.
So not the London Stadium then.
Not the London Stadium. No.
Ortega for $500,000. Did you see this earlier? Off to Nottingham Forest, the Man City keeper. That's a bargain.
That is a bargain. Yeah.
I'm gutted. We were linked to him a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, get him in because I think he's better than Areola personally. And when I seen he was away to Nottingham Forest, and then they presented him on the pitch yesterday, and I just thought they've really strengthened, and they're going about they're doing some good business in the last couple of days, Nottingham Forest. Which
I don't think it's Forest that we're going to be catching.
Who do you think it is then?
I think it's between Palace and Leeds. Yeah. And I am getting pelters from Leeds fans. I am getting pelters because I identified them. But I just think when the going gets tough, I think Forest have got Forest have got it in them to know what they've got to do. They've done it a couple of times. Leeds are up and down. And I think they'll run out of steam. I think they'll get an injury to Calvert-Lewin. I think it's, important to them. And I do think it's between them. I'm not saying that either of them are going to go down. I'm not saying we're going to catch them. But I am confident that if it's going to be one of them, it's going to be one of them too.
Yeah, I think with Leeds is
they've got a tough run of fixtures coming up.
Yeah, they've 2 defeats in 11 games now, I think. However, I think it's 3 wins in 14. So you can look at stats both ways. So they're not getting beat much, but bear in mind how good they've been, right? So we can agree that Leeds have been on a really good run recently. They're only 6 points ahead of us. We've been terrible, yet they're only 6 points ahead of us, right?
Yeah, so, you have to pull right out.
Yeah. So they've gone ahead of us, but they've not taken off despite that unbeaten run and stuff. And I thought they didn't have a lot of fight. And there's some rumours. People keep mentioning in the live chat, but I haven't focused on it much because I think it's just small rumours that Calvert-Lewin's gone for a scan. And if he was injured, then it's game on again because they've not signed anyone. I think they signed one player this window, but I don't think it's a significant signing. Buonanotte, they've got Buonanotte, who's a good player to be fair, but they've not got backup for Goodmanson in. They've not got another striker in.
Somebody got Spurs as well, which you can look at that. But they've got 4 fixtures. I think if they become close to that to drop in, they'll sack that manager and they'll get just enough wins to get out of it.
Yeah, I think I know we've obviously proven too good to go down is not true. I do think it is true. For most seasons, too good to go down is applicable. And I think when I look at the Spurs team, I think they are too good to go down. They'll be okay. And I thought they were really good in the second half against Man City
Man City,
yesterday.
yeah.
Terrible in the first half, but better. Brian saying Friday night's game will decide our fate as Leeds United play Nottingham Forest. Rhonda wants to know what your back four would be for the Burnley game.
Out of what we got at the moment, without signing, I would say it would be Diouf, Wan-Bissaka, Mavropanos, and a lump of wood that we could find along the road as we go there, because he's got to be better than Kilman.
Would you chuck, if we signed Disasi, would you chuck him straight in?
No, I wouldn't, because I think then, with all seriousness, I think then you're really going to kill Kilman. If there's a player in Kilman, that's going to kill him straight away. But if he ends up being worse than Kilman, that's going to fuck us for two. You know what I mean? So for two players. So yeah, that'll knock the bollocks out of Kilman. And you got to remember, the only clean sheet we have, right, and it involved Kilman and it involved the goalkeeper, the other goalkeeper. So Hermansen.
It also involved Nuno in the opposite dugout.
Yes, yeah, it did. It did involve Nuno retreating, looking for a draw. But I'm just saying, like, the only clean sheet we've had all season involved them two. So
yeah. Hughie's saying, what about Wan-Bissaka? But also we've got West Ham is saying Souček, and a couple of others have said Magassa. And I think this just shows how desperate people are, where, you know, Jordan's saying Mayers or Golombekis, that people who just want alternatives to Max Kilman.
I think Souček has played there. The one that we did, and I said it in the summer, the one that we let go was Alvarez, which I thought was crazy. It just one player of the tournament, playing centre back for Mexico, in a tournament that they won. He scored the winning goal. He's solid. He can play there. So, you know, with all of these defensive frailties we've got, and it isn't like, you know, it's a quick decline. We knew Mavropanos weren't good enough. We knew Todibo weren't good enough. We knew Kilman weren't good enough, for all intents and purposes. To let him go was fucking madness.
Right, before you disappear, Nicky, I don't know how much of an eye you keep on the under-21s, but West Ham United have just tweeted, West Ham United can confirm that Academy defender Adiele has joined Utrecht on a permanent transfer for an undisclosed phase. So Adiele has now left West Ham and joined Utrecht. He had offers from Juventus and Dortmund as well, but he's chosen Utrecht as he will get first team minutes at the football club. So another player gone.
Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of this. I'm afraid. I think you're going to see a lot of it, because they've wasted a lot of money, and they've invested a lot of money in players that they've. You know, you think about what we've got out on loan at the moment, just on loan, players that we don't want, players that we can't get rid of. Ward-Prowse at 25 million, Alvarez at 37 million, Fulkrug at 27 million or whatever it was. That's a lot of money that they're not going to get back. And I think they're going to, you know, they're looking to balance books now. They're looking, they have to, you know, they're looking to balance books. So if there's a couple of superstars that, let's be honest, they're probably not going to get their opportunity the way we are at the moment. I think that's the reason why Guilherme was let go, because then they're not going to get their opportunities in this day and age. And I don't think they're probably not suited to be playing in the Championship and trying to get us back up first time. And you're going to see this. If they get offered a decent amount of money, they'll sell.
Lastly, Nicky, before you depart, we asked earlier on, give us a percentage as a chance of beating the drop. What percentage would you stick on us staying up?
30%.
Yeah. Perfect. Nicky, thank you very much. A pleasure as always. And
Thanks,
I'll see you very soon. Cheers, Nicky. Right then, are you still hungry? You want another Hammers Chat guest here on deadline day? Don't you worry. Don't treat you. I've got another one in the green room ready to rock and roll. Let's bring him in. We've got James from E20 Zone TV. James, how you doing?
Wonderful, mate. Enjoying this transfer.
Liar. Absolute lies.
I'm putting a brave face on it, I must admit. I'm doing good, mate. I'm all right.
If you've got any questions for James, please do pop them into live chat. He's here with me for the next 10, 15 minutes. Just I say, I mean, has anything changed in the last half an hour since I've been live? Is he still just maybe turned up for a medical, but no one actually knows?
He's there, but he's there. He's not there. He's there. It's
He's
like now
at the
you see him.
hospital, not
Yeah.
turning up. He's not at the training ground. He's actually at a hospital and stuff like that. It just feels like it feels a bit weird. Darren saying Sky are saying that the deal is in the balance because of player demands. Randy's saying the same thing due to his demand. What's his demand? What could he possibly be demanding? He's coming on loan, so his wages aren't an issue. So it must just be what game time. I don't know what. Oh my God, this is. I thought we were scraping the barrel. We're not even getting the barrel. We're getting nothing.
Are you surprised though, Gio? Honestly,
In all honesty, right? I am. I'll tell you why. A few Friday or whatever, I thought, right, Paqueta's finally gone. We'll get into Sassy and we'll get in Kinski and Hermanson will go away and that'll be it. And I thought that was low. I thought that was like but below par, really low expectations. We're not even doing that. So I'm surprised that we are actually managing to be, well, I shouldn't be, but I am almost surprised that we're managing to be completely, incredibly shit rather than just incredibly shit. I mean, this is just another.
it is bad, mate. Honestly, I'm not surprised. I'm gutted more than anything. I feel sorry for everyone. I feel sorry for every West Ham fan. Like, yeah, I know we do what we do. It is what it is. But I feel sorry for everyone because everyone's got their hopes up, and David Sullivan does what he does and dashes everyone's hopes and chucks it in the bin. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, to have 5 weeks, just under 5 weeks of the window to deal with this situation, and we still haven't done it. And we all know that defensively, West Ham are poor. Like, we've conceded every game under Nuno, and we need help in that department. To leave it this late and not even have a guaranteed defender coming in, it's criminal, mate. It's unacceptable for me. It really is, and it's a shame. And I feel like there's no plan in here. Are they planning? Are they planning for relegation? That's the thing that you got to look at. Are they looking and going, right, we're going to clear everyone out? And he doesn't want to gamble again because he gambled with Lopetegui many years ago, for me.
Yeah. It's a bit like what Carl's saying. Why did we let Igor leave? Like you said, you think you'd do it the other way around, which is get your defender in and then let your defender leave, not bin him off and then try and get someone, because then we started the transfer window with Igor, Kilman, Mavpanos and Todibo, and we needed more. We needed an upgrade, and we might end the transfer window with Kilman, Mavpanos and Todibo, who's suspended for at least 3 games.
When you look here like that, mate, and this is the thing, right? There's fans out there that could actually run the club better than him. Like, and it's not even a joke. Like we've all known that we've needed a centre half at this club, and we're the 20th richest club, and nothing's happened. You know what I'm saying? So you got to laugh at it, because if you don't laugh, you cry at the end of the day.
Yeah, we've got some comments in here from you. Tal loves your content. He's happy that you're here. And in regards to Disasi then, because there's been a lot of talk all day, really, that he's not being keen, hasn't it? The rumours have been that Disasi's not that sold on West Ham. So Barley's saying bin him off if he's picky. We need people who will fight, not like Todibo Traore fighting, but someone who's up for the battle. Otter's saying the same, which is Disasi doesn't want to join, but he's been pushed around by agents and the clubs. Gaz is saying if you don't want to sign, don't do it. You want people that are here to fight for the shirt. Do you agree with that, or do you think we're that desperate we've got to just take in anyone that we can get?
Well, we need someone who can defend. That's the first thing. Like, before anything else, we need someone who can actually defend aerial crosses and things like that are coming in the box. The thing is, it's more the timing of it, Gio. That's the thing that's irritating me, is that you're leaving it so late, and then it's like we tried FC again. Like, oh, look, we've run out of time. Look at that. Wow, you've had 5 weeks to deal with it. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised if he hasn't already gone to Leicester that Jamal Lascelles ends up at West Ham, because we all know who his agent is, and his agent is Will Salthouse, and that would not surprise me at all if Sullivan does like a bait and switch move and says, right, to Sassy, can't get hold of him, let's get Jamal Lascelles here. And obviously he's got the Salthouse connection, hasn't he? So it wouldn't surprise me if that comes around, if Disasi blows West Ham out late into the day. And they've probably got that as a backup plan, if I'm honest, if he hasn't already gone to Leicester.
Yeah, like you said, there's a timing. We've got 20 minutes left of the transfer deadline window. We've had all month, 20 minutes to go. and now we're trying to scrape together a centre back, and we've not got time for Plan B or Plan C. If we can get a deal sheet in, then we can get it extended. But it's 20-minute. Craven saying the deal isn't off. Stop making things up. We're just going by what people are saying in the live chat about how the deal's on the rocks.
Well, it ain't done yet, is it? So,
yeah,
you know.
And we're running out of time. We'll wait and see. But Victor's saying the same thing, which is Disasi's fallen player demands. It's breaking news on Sky, apparently. Oh dear. One thing we're asking everyone, James, is a question from Reese. As a percentage, what do you give us as a chance of beating the drop?
I don't know why. I've still got hope. That's all I've got left is hope. I think that we have to win 7 games, so we have to split the games in half. Yeah, and I can see us winning 5. I don't know where the other 2 come from. Right, that's the one thing I can't really understand is where the other 2 games come from. Now, if we play like we played in the first half against Chelsea, we're going to stay up because but it's the second half. Second half we fall apart. So I've still got hope. I'm about. Yeah, I'm going to say about 30%. I agree with what Nicky said previous. Yeah, but I've still got a glimmer of hope. But we have to beat Burnley at the weekend. If we fail to win that game, and we end up sort of giving it away again, then I can't see us staying up. If I'm being honest, it's that big. This Friday we need a draw at least, and then we need to beat Burnley, and then start to push these teams down with us.
What about the strikers? Obviously, Pablo's come in, Tatty's come in. What have you made of them so far?
Work hard. That's what you want. That's what we're asking for. We need energy from the front. I can't fault their work rate. I need to see a bit more end product from the pair of them. But that's going to come in time. They've only been here 4 games, so I'm happy with what they're doing. They are helping the team from the front because it's sort of relieving the pressure from the defence. I'm a bit concerned that they get burnt out after about 65 minutes though, and they can't play any longer than that. Now, I don't know how Nuno's going to go around that, but we need players who can play a bit longer than 65. Obviously, Castellanos has done a bit more. He scored a goal, which is good. Pablo, it'd be nice for him to get a goal because I think he's getting into the positions, but he's just not like the end product's there. But it's going to come in time. If he scores at the weekend, then that'd be great. Do you know what I'm saying? But this window as a whole, we needed a lot more than what we've got, and we've got them too. We needed about 4 or 5 players, really, if I'm being honest, in order to strengthen the side right up. To have it right now, it's just them 2 really who's come in, and we're waiting and seeing if Disasi fancies it or not. It's embarrassing, isn't it?
I'll put this one to you, James. It's from Mark. I'll answer it as well. But you're saying, would you take Zuma on a pay-as-you-play deal for the last 20 minutes of games?
It wouldn't. Zuma, Dawson, I think someone said earlier on they're both out of contract, and for me, we need experience in there. Like they ain't even got to play. Even being around the centre halves and helping them in training, it's going to help us massively. Like the problem is we've got defenders who can't header a ball from a cross or like a set piece or anything like that. They're scared, and teams know this. And it proved it on Saturday night when Chelsea were throwing crosses in left, right, and centre, and we're all sitting there watching it, going, "What is going on?" They just don't know how to control the environment when that's happening. I take anyone's at the minute.
I mean, I can't say yes to this. I think he's played about 10 games of football since he left us. So you said it can't hurt. It could, but the problem is it would hurt Zuma's knees. He's one of my favourite defenders we've seen at West Ham. When he was never 100% fit, but when he was 80% fit, he was excellent. But he was done by the time he left, and it's been a little while since then as well. And he's gone to lesser leagues and struggled to play consistently as well. So it's a big no for me. But the fact that you're debating it and Mark's suggesting it, it shows just how desperate we are and how bad this is at West Ham. We are debating bringing in someone that we know. Mark's saying there for the last 20 minutes of games, not even to play a handful of games, maximum to play 20 minutes of a game, because that's all he'd be capable of. That's what we're trying to have a genuine discussion around it, because that's how bad it is at the minute, and that's how desperate we are for players. It would be a no for me from Zuma, but I understand the desperation from people that would suggest it and debate it. It's a no. James, anything else you'd like to add before we say thank you very much and good night?
Just keep the faith. That's the only thing I can say is keep the faith, and just all we are at the minute is living in hope. Right, we all hope that West Ham are going to stay up rather than expect it. Do you know what I'm saying? And Saturday's big. We need to all come together. Burnley away, need a win, and then obviously go on to Manchester United on the following sort of Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it is. And if we can start building up a head of steam, then we might have half a chance. We've got to pull these teams closer to us, and if we do, it's going to be a battle on our hands. One thing I will say, Gio, is we've all experienced this before. We experienced this in 2007 under Kerbishley. West Ham can get out of this, right? But they've got to stop making these mistakes at key moments and stop giving away games. If they cut that out and win more games, they're going to be all right, in my opinion. So, yeah, keep the faith.
Well, James, thank you very much. Always a pleasure. Hopefully we'll catch up again very, very soon. But thank you very much.
Take care, mate. All the best to you.
There you go, James from E20 Zone TV. If you haven't already subscribed to his channel, go and do it. Not right now. Stick around because I've got another guest for you lined up immediately. He's kindly waiting patiently in the green room here at Hammers Chat. But once the stream's finished, go check them all out. But someone else that you may recognize from another YouTube channel. I'm going to tell you the name of the old YouTube channel, The Three Hammers. That's it. So it's now called West Ham World. I think it's called West Ham World. It's changed it a few times. Luke, how you doing?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. I dug out my wedding tie. I thought I'd dig out a gold tie for you for the transfer deadline.
Your wedding tie, not any tie, your actual wedding tie.
It's the only yellow tie I've got in the house. It's not really a colour you'd wear, is it, a yellow tie? But I wore blue and gold for my wedding, so I thought, let's see if I can find it, and I dug it out.
Good, man. Well, you made more effort than I did. I'll be honest with you. Look, I couldn't be arsed.
No, I don't blame you.
At the minute, I thought, I just can't be.
I don't blame you.
What's the name of your channel now? Is it still West Ham World?
Yeah, West Ham World, mate, because obviously the third hammer, the elusive third hammer left, and we don't speak anymore, so we thought we'd change it to that.
Brilliant. Well, check out Luke's channel as well. You got any questions for Luke, please do get them into the live chat. He's with me for the next 10, 15 minutes. Chris had said earlier, look, I really thought the board would try a little bit, but they've quit. Is that what you're feeling?
Yeah, I'm really deflated, mate. Like, I've stopped doing previews. I do the reviews. It's just the energy's not there. Like, it's really sad at the minute being a West Ham fan. I know some people are showing positivity. It's great seeing Nicky, being positive, but I find it really, really difficult. Just as you get that hope back after a really good run, the Chelsea game really sucked it out of me again. And results, we're not taking advantage. When Leeds lose, we're never capitalising on it. And it's just like, come on, West Ham, you're running out of chances to get them points back. Like, I like what you say. We say we only need to be in 2 points of them, which again is my only little bit of hope that I've got left that we can still do that potentially. But my God, what a game that would be at last game if we have to win. How many times has West Ham won that have to win game? Yeah. It's hard.
I would take it though if someone said to me,
100%, mate, right now.
Yeah, I think. Listen, the stadium gets a bad rap, and I've been critical of the stadium as well. But hand on heart, I believe that place would be rocking if that happened. If it was a win and we stay up, don't win and we go down, I think that place would be absolutely rocking. I think people would say, turn up, make a noise, and as soon as the game's finished, no matter what, we get back to protesting and stuff. But I do think it would be like Sevilla. I think that game just for one off, and I know that the arguments post-match would be, well, why can't it be like this every week? And, there you go, the stadium's at the problem. And those arguments would be valid, but that's my point. It requires a special occasion.
Yeah,
Good. But I do think it would be good. Maybe I'm being naive, but I do think if it was a playoff, I think that would be it. Andy's asking, how would you rate this window? Or would you say it's the worst under Sullivan's reign?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know, maybe a 5 out of 10. Because I do think the two boys that have come in have done okay, like Tati and Pablo, whether you rate them ability-wise, they've done a job. They've provided energy. They've provided, a distraction for people like Somerville and Bowen to get their space and be able to create. Traore remains to be seen. But we needed a centre-back. We've let a creative midfielder go, and we haven't replaced. Like, letting Jill Yerfy go. How stupid was that? It's ridiculous. We need someone with the sexy pass, as I call it, the Benayoun, the Berkovic, that one who can eye of a needle. How long have it been since we've had someone like that? That's what it's lacking. Just that one player that could maybe do that magic pass.
Yeah, I completely agree about what you're saying about the strikers occupying defenders. You're completely right. I'm just trying to think of all of Somerville's goals. The goal at the weekend against Chelsea, that's a result of the strikers occupying the defenders. It gives them space in behind to make his move. The header he scored, arguably, that counts as well because the strikers are there, each with a centre back, and it allows Somerville that space to dart between, get his head on it. The goal against
so Bowen's goal as well. Bowen's goal the weekend, obviously crossing it in. Pablo's there, just distracting players, you know.
Yeah, I can't remember Somerville's goal against Spurs off the top of my head, so I can't tell you if
no, I can't. He sort of burst into the box, didn't he? Didn't Pablo let back to him, and he sort of ran into the box and then just hit one?
It hit Van de Ven on the arse, didn't it?
Yeah, that's the one.
They hit him on the arse. So again, arguably, you could say that the strikers are there, causing problems for the defense, unsettling defense, and maybe we're clutching, but that's all we can do at the minute, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've got a question from Phil. We like his username here. Phil says, "Is it a coincidence that the first 5 letters of Disassi are the same for the word disaster?"
Well, that's what I keep hearing from channels. Is he's a disaster. I can't say I know too much about him. I did speak to a guy who I work with today, actually, a Chelsea fan. And he said, "I don't rate him, mate. I'll be honest with you. He's not that great." With people like Paddy Asher, he doesn't rate either. So it would just be typical West Ham. He hasn't played for a long time either, has he? It's just it's just awful. Like a lack of planning is just ridiculous. You know, it is ridiculous. You let Igor go as well, who, again, we don't know how good or how bad he was. Kilman's terrible. Sabido's now suspended. It's in big trouble. Big trouble there.
Question from Ryan. I'm just trying to get the latest on Disassi, but question for Ryan whilst to do that. He says, "Look, do you think Nuno will still be here if we get relegated?"
That's a really good question. I don't think so. I think they'll get rid of him. I don't know who. Maybe I'm clutching at straws there. Maybe someone like Michael Carrick's doing his audition at Manchester United. Will he step back down to the Championship? Maybe that's a big ask because he's doing quite a good job in these couple of games he's played. No, I don't think he will be there. But I can't say I can pick a name of who I'd want or who I think could get it.
I think it would depend on his contract, how we got a clause in there, which means we can sack him with no compensation if we get relegated, because that would be a wise thing to do. And also, what happens between now and the end of the season? If we get relegated, but we've got 34 or 35 points, we've had a very respectable final third of the season, I think the board would say, well, we've seen enough. We've seen more than enough that he can win games. And if we had another month of football, we might have stayed up, but we've just ran out of time, unfortunately. But at this point in time, I would say no, because I think it's difficult to keep any manager that gets you relegated. I think
would you consider Paco if we went down?
I know nothing about him, Luke. I know nothing about him. It would depend on, I guess this is where you can remember when we had Pellegrini and we sacked him and Martin. I remember the reports. Noble went to the board and said, who was playing at the time, and Noble went to the board and said, keep that Enzo Maresca, keep him, because he was on the coaching team. And Noble was like, he's a really good coach. And it didn't happen for one reason or another. So sometimes you can, but I certainly wouldn't tell Paco that would be the plan, because then you might end up with a backstabbing situation where it's actually in his best interest if gets a sack because he gets a promotion and a pay rise. So I don't know enough about him to.
What I've read is that he's Ange on steroids. He's like just Ange, but 10 times worse and more attacking.
I'm up for it. If he is and he's able to do that, I'm up for it. To be fair, I'd probably rather have him for the end of the season than the start of the season, because I think in the Championship, it's a bloody hard league. You need someone that's quite tactically astute. But for now, 100%. If we're going to go down, let's just go down guns blazing. And
have fun. Yeah.
Look, if we're going to go down, can we go down losing 4-3 every week instead of getting 2-0 and stuff like that?
I'd rather that, mate. I'd rather that. 100%.
That would be it. We've got 5 minutes until the transfer window officially closes. Now, if you are agreeing a deal, for example, if the deal for Disasi is all agreed, we can put in a deal sheet, and that does give us another 2 hours to get the deal done. But we'll wait and see. Stell, West Ham Voices in the chat. He's saying apparently Disasi has passed his medical, so it does sound like he's passed it. It's just whether he wants to join or not is the issue.
And then it makes you think: would you want a player like that who's a bit like, no, don't know whether?
What would you say? Because
I'd say no.
The thing is, I want to. This is how bad it is to look. I want to say no. I want to say no. Get fucked. You don't want to play for West Ham.
Yeah.
But then we're left with 3 centre backs, and one of them suspended for 3 games. Like,
and one of them shit, really shit.
But what's the alternative? If you say no, bugger off. What's the alternative? That
no, yeah. It's not like even we can put Casey, and obviously Casey's gone out on loan as well. If you wanted to give a young boy a chance, you know,
you've got to say to Golan Beckus and Mayers, right? You two, you've got to step up. We need you now. You're going to have to step up.
Yeah, one of the biggest games that we've ever had in years. You know, it's a big ask.
Yeah, it's hard to be a centre back to make it in the Premier League from the academy, but never mind at that age. Jacob Steinberg has just done a tweet saying West Ham in deal sheet territory with Disasi now, with a possible sarcastic hashtag of #exciting.
I heard Messi's looking for a loan now to keep himself fit for the World Cup. That would be nice.
The reality
is, it's frustrating. It's so frustrating, mate.
We are struggling to get in a player who hasn't played a game of football since April. He's been in Chelsea's bomb squad, and we can't even get him to join. We're struggling to convince him to come to West Ham. He'd rather play no football than come to West Ham.
Yeah, it's crazy because he probably would get put straight in the weekend if he doesn't fancy Kilburn anymore.
Yeah,
it is. It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Very unattractive football club at the minute.
Yeah, Rid Hammer saying, hopefully the lad in centre back, he falls in love with the club. I totally get it. He doesn't want to come here. He's hardly been sold the dream, has he? I think that's fair. Like you said, we are in an unattractive club. We're in the bottom 3, defending a lot as well, trying to convince him to come. It's not an attractive proposition for anyone, is it?
No, mate. No. We're like, listen, Gonzo always says it, doesn't he? Unless you're brought up on pie mash, you know, eating that every day. Who would want to come to West Ham at the minute? I certainly wouldn't. You know, if I wasn't a West Ham fan, why would I join this club? It's in a mess. We're constantly, you know, the fans are against it. Constant protest. We hate the board. Why would you come here? You wouldn't, would you? You just wouldn't. It kills careers. How many careers have we put on a back burner? Haller, Skamaka. They leave West Ham. They become world beaters again. We kill players. We do. We kill players.
Look, before you head off in a few minutes, I just want to say a quick thank you to Clumpton for the £2 super chat and the support. Very, very kind of him. And also Sterling, Ultrasin Sterling, but more Maximum. If you remember, what the hell is his name? The Newcastle winger, Alan St. Maximum.
Oh, yeah. I used to love him. I used to love him.
He's now a free agent. He was out in whether it was South American or Central American. I want to say he was maybe in Mexico.
I think you're right, yeah. Because I play FIFA and I think he's in the Mexican league, yeah.
So I think he was at a Mexican club and they ripped up his contract because I think he was subject to racial abuse. I could be wrong. I think he was subject to racial abuse and therefore he wanted out. So they've done it. So therefore he's now a free agent. I think he's only 28, believe it or not. I think he's only 28 years old or something. Dave's saying he's already gone back to France. Oh, so he's no longer a free agent. Brilliant.
Well, I remember him. I remember him ending Zabaletta's career when he played for. He just destroyed us that game. Absolutely destroyed us.
He's gone to Lens, says Brooke. Oh well, we'll scrap that one. I thank you for the comment, but we can't answer that. But
I would have took him. I would have took him.
Yeah. Reese is asking everyone. Well, he's not. He asked me and Gonzo, but I'm asking everyone. Reese is saying, as a percentage, what chance do you give us of beating the drop?
I'm a pessimist. 10%, 15%.
I want your honest answer. Pessimist, positive, whatever. Just honest. What is it? 10%?
Yeah, 10%. Listen, we won 5 games or whatever it was last year. How the hell are we going to all of a sudden pull 5, 6 wins out of the bag between now and the end of the season, mate? Yes, we're playing better, but I just don't think we believe. I can't see where the clean sheets are coming from. We've got to score 2 goals to win games at the minute. At least 2 goals.
Yeah, I better say sometimes that's not going to be enough.
Yeah. So I just can't see how we can turn it around that quickly. And I think we'll just miss it. It will be a painful one right to the end, and it's going to hurt, sadly.
Right, that's the transfer window officially shut now. West Ham apparently are putting a deal sheet for Disasi as they're trying to persuade him to come. We're here for another hour though with more guests lined up. But Luke, thank you very much. A pleasure.
Appreciate it, mate. Absolutely appreciate it.
And look after that tie. Don't get that lost.
Thanks, mate. Really appreciate you getting me on, mate.
Cheers. Right then. Are you finished for the night? Oh, no, you're not. You're sitting where you are for the next hour. The deadline day, it might be finished. The transfer window might be finished. But A, I had a feeling we might be into deal sheet territory. And B, I thought everyone's going to get pissed off. So let's not end the show when the window shuts, because the emotion kicks in now. The reality kicks in. I've got another guest for you. It's actually someone making their debut on the channel, someone you've heard of, someone we've worked with plenty behind the scenes at Hammers Chat. It's Canning Town Len. Len, how you doing? Can you hear me okay? I can't hear you. The audio's not coming up. Right, if everyone just gives us 1 minute, we'll try and get Len's audio to get up and running. And then when it does, we'll get him back on. But hopefully Len can get his audio up and running and we can get him involved. I just want to say thank you to Chris for the support, the $2 super chat. Thank you very much. Chris is saying he's not going to be signing, and Pierre saying Len doesn't have a camera. He's not happy. He's staying anonymous. He's not coming on. Canning Town Len will not be doing a face reveal on transfer deadline day. Johnny saying, I think the hope will be back and attitudes will change if we beat Burnley. That will be 3 wins from 4 Premier League matches, plus the first half against Chelsea. Let me see if Len's up and running yet. Can you hear me yet?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How you doing?
All right. I'm all right. I have to correct you, actually. It's not my first time on the channel. We done a quiz, me and Gonzo, and I stuffed him.
Oh, yeah.
It was a while ago. But you don't forget little things like that.
Yeah, he's not very good at quizzes, Gonzo. He doesn't like them.
No, I'm not too keen on them either. But you twisted my arm that night.
I do my best. Anyway, I've got to show people something.
Have you?
Well, you can guess what it is. Can you guess what I've got in my hand right now, Len? You should be able
It's
to.
not the care print, is it?
they're in a box. I don't know what we're gonna have to do. They're gonna have to go on the fire or something.
They are.
But I've got this. So
right, yeah. No, I'll put that behind me for a week.
This is hand painted. That's why I'm not touching it. This is hand painted by Canning Town Len, signed by Paulo Di Canio. So in our next raffle, this will be one of the prizes. So you won't just be supporting Hammers Chat, you will also be supporting Canning Town Len. And there's only one of these in the world, right? I'm right in saying that. Yes, you haven't got 2 done.
No, there's only one of them, yeah.
There's only one of these in the world. There you go. Look at that. Beautiful piece of artwork. Special prize. And that'll be the next one. Any questions for Canning Town Len? Please get them into the live chat. He's with me for the next 15 minutes or so to talk all things West Ham and see whatever you want to discuss as well. What do you make of I say transfer? What do you make of deadline day? Potentially signing Disasi, but that's it.
Well, we sound like we're potentially signing a guy that whose choice is signed for West Ham or not playing the football at all, and he's fancying not playing football at all, by the sounds of it. Or am I wrong? I mean, I don't get really too caught up in it, but after Saturday, you got to accept now that we've got a manager that wants to shut up shop, which means today you need to buy a centre half. And if you don't fancy it and you've got no backup, then it's not looking good, is it?
Yeah,
that's the reality of it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Like when I said what we're potentially is a way to happen right now is we came into the January transfer window with Igor Kilman, Mavropanos, Todibo. We are potentially coming out the transfer window with Mavropanos, Kilman, and Todibo, who's suspended for a minimum of 3 games. But we could potentially have just 2 senior centre backs in the squad for the next 3 games. And like you said, we're trying to convince someone who's debating not to play in football instead of joining West Ham.
Yeah.
Anyway, we've got some fun questions for you, though.
Go on.
GK is saying, who's your favourite player that you've met?
That's a toughie. I mean, before I met him, my first favourite player was David Cross. He's probably still my favourite player that I've met.
You've met
Dev
quite a
and
few.
Trev. Yeah, I have. I'm just trying to think. He's put me on a spot because I don't want to forget anyone that who I've met.
Don't
Dev and
worry,
Trev.
the ex-players won't be listening. No one's going to get
Yeah,
offended.
I
You're
suppose
all
not.
right.
I suppose not. Yeah.
You can say whoever you want.
Yeah. Sir Jeff. I mean, I met Sir Jeff. You spoke to him last week, didn't you?
Yeah, but I let Gonzo
Yeah, he was a
do it.
bit. Sir Jeff was a bit different because I don't know how you felt about it because I don't know if you or Gonzo spoke to him or both of you. But it was more like meeting a historical figure, meeting Sir Jeff. Do you know what I mean? Than a footballer.
Yeah, I let Gonzo do it. Whenever it's on pitch, and I let Gonzo do those Q&As because I tend to do them on YouTube. So I sort of let him have his turn. But also, I do more videos than him on Patreon. So I think, well, you can do the bloody Q&As and pull your weight. But he's good at them. So he did it with Jeff. But what I thought was, I get what you're saying. And there was actually like a question. Someone asked him about like what stuff he had left over in terms of like memorabilia, and he said that he flogged it all basically, and that him and his family don't really like football. And
No.
he said that like we're obviously like a famous name, Hurst. He says, but actually my wife doesn't like football, my kids don't like football. And when I was listening, I thought, well, he's not wrong, is he? He's just someone that achieved something incredible in history.
Yeah.
But that's it. He's not really a footballing family or anything.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't even say. I mean, when he does these player evenings, he often says that I wasn't, I'm lauded up to be this big England striker, but I wasn't. I didn't think myself as the best striker at West Ham at the time. He thought Brian Deere was better than him.
Yeah.
For a start.
Johnny's asking your favourite away day memory.
The 4-1 at White Hart Lane. Steve Jones getting one and Trevor Morley getting a couple. The fourth one escapes me. That was a great away day.
Ryan's bringing it back to West Ham. He says, do you think Sullivan will sell up if we end up in the Championship next season?
I think I know a lot of people saying that they think he's more chance of selling in the Premier League, and I understand why they're saying that. But I think if you give him a couple of knocks, if he starts to experience a little bit of adversity, then he's going to start thinking a different way, and I think that might eventually lead him to sell. I don't think it'll be straight away, but going down and coming back up, or staying down, or going down again, dare we say, that might make him change his mind. You don't know, and until there's change, there won't be more change.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to people.
Yeah. Corky's asking a bit of a personal one, saying, what inspired you to do art, and do you do landscapes?
Well, it was my job really to start doing art, but I suppose in its sense now, the moment AI come in, I wanted to do something more tangible, so I didn't do digital art, and I've done paintings, and that's just over 4 years now. I've been doing that. I'm enjoying it. I'm where I want to be, really.
Brooke Dev Bonds, who has your artwork as his profile picture.
Yeah, I can see. Look,
he's saying, any more animations due?
I don't really plan them. They don't take that long to do, really, because everything's the same scene. It's just me doing the voiceover. But I've really got to fancy it to do it, and I really need to want to stick it into Sullivan if I want to do it. If that's the animations you're talking about. Otherwise, it moves so quickly.
Yeah.
That you don't really. You think, what's the point? Sometimes it does. If it gets you down, you won't want to do it. If you want to have a dig back, then you do. but I don't really plan them. I mean, I've got to be sort of have nothing on the easel as well. I've got to be sort of not busy, which hasn't been for a while. I'll do one Christmas and I might do one end of the season. I try and make sure I do them ones. I've done one every Christmas since. But otherwise, it's I've got to leave it to the AI boys who can do it quicker.
Kane is asking, when is your exhibition?
That's a good question. I've got a nice big 4-foot paint in the Prague here that I never found the wall to put it on. So I don't know. All the others, they sell straight away lately. The paintings have been selling within the hour, but I think I might have told you, the guy who bought the 2 original Prague paintings, one was Declan Rice as the cup and the Declan Rice, the Jeroboam goal, he lost his pub and I bought them back off him. I've got them back now, so I could exhibit them as a 3, a little triptych if you like. But I've got no plans for that, so you have to watch your space for that. I can't give you a serious answer.
Well, I have invited you to the event if we have one.
You have. The thing is, with the big paint, I can't get in the car. So I'd have to sort of work something out. Maybe I'll get on Gonzo Zero and he can come pick me up.
Well, I'm sure we can sort something. Ryan saying, who's your favourite manager of all time?
John Lyle, I think. I like the Harry Hughes. I did enjoy Harry. I like Slaven. That was fun. But I think, we'll put it this way, Ryan, that my dad took me to the first game when I was 6. John Lyle was a manager. We went down that day in 78. So you can work out my age from that if you want. And then John Lyle was still the manager when I started working. I was going there on my own steam. So he was part of the club then. I was really pleased that Billy Bonds became manager for the short time after Lou Macari. But I've got to say John Lyle, because for a big part of my life, he was the manager. So I can't not say John Lyle.
Well, at least if you come to at least if we do an event, we'll be able to show you our John Lyle memorabilia that we've got. We've got his Hammer of the Year award. So that's a nice thing. So just to play. And we've got a couple of Manager of the Month awards. And we're picking something else up. I think have I told you what else we're buying? Don't say it. I told you. I can't remember. We're getting there at the end of this month. I might have told you, but we're trying to keep it secret. People know we're buying something; they just don't know what we're buying.
Oh, right.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. The girl was asking, how do you cope speaking to Sean once a week?
I do. I mean, some people listen to me here might think I'm sounding quite relaxed. That's what he does to you. I do actually sound different doing the podcast with Sean. But it's nothing like 20,000 Sean's in London Stadium and once a fortnight. That's what we're up to. I mean, I know Sean's a pain in the arse, but the fan base has changed a little bit. There's more Sean's about than you think, but I'm lucky I only have to do once a week.
A couple of people have asked this. Brian's just asked it, but so did Paul, which is, who is your favourite artist? Brian was asking who inspired you. Is it the same answer?
Who's my favourite artist? Well, Van Gogh's up there and Picasso. They're my favourites. I like the other than Picasso, I like post-impressionists. Really, I like that kind of colourful art. Probably because I'm limited myself. I'm not that realistic. So I like to sort of be post-impressionist, really.
Well, we've got some good news tonight, Len, which is Real Madrid scored for the under-21s. So 2-0
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
oh, that's good.
I'm not watching, obviously. It's on right now, but everyone in the chat's keeping me up to date. It's 2-0, and Real Madrid scored for the
I can't remember what position he is.
Left wing.
Okay. All right.
6-month loan, ready in 12 months.
Oh, all right. That's what I said about Alan Devonshire. Be ready in 12 months. In a fortnight, he come on, and that was that.
A couple more questions for you, Len. Sonny is asking, why do you stay anonymous?
I don't think there's much advantage not being anonymous, really, because once you're not anonymous, you can't put it back in the box, if you know what I mean. But
yeah.
I did have quite not an undercover job, but I was a contractor that done art. That I was a bit of a ringer, if that makes sense, in the ad industry. That I worked for different firms, and they sort of kept me out of the way. So I've always kept a low profile, but I don't really see advantage of keeping a high one, really.
Yeah, and also people get shocked when you come on and you're actually Gonzo with just a different voice.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people think I'm Nigel, even though like we talk at the same time over each other.
Brilliant. Jay's saying, what's your favourite West Ham creation that you've made? He loves a Conference League print with everyone adjusted to be facing us.
That's I'll have to say everybody's second team. My film, really. I suppose the Prague, the Conference League paint was something I didn't expect to do. So I mean, in that way, yeah, that was good, really.
Len, I'm asking everyone before you go. I'm asking everyone a question that Reese put in earlier. As a percentage, what do you give us chance of beating the drop?
10%, a 1 in 10 chance, I think. I think the matter is, there's lots to see when we're watching the game on the pitch. There's lots of stuff that you see that gives you hope, but it's the stuff off the pitch that discourages, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, like tonight, you think to yourself, "God, you need a couple of centre halves lined up, maybe another one in midfield," and then you think to yourself, "Well, we haven't got Upton Park anymore, which is going to be really handy in a relegation battle." There's a lot of things outside the 90 minutes of football that go against us, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm not that optimistic, I'm afraid. But you never know. I mean, you see enough the first half Saturday. If Nuno learns his lessons from that and he can just play the first half type of football and not try and sit on the lead, then we might be all right with a fair wind.
Well, Canning Town Lion, thank you very much. I appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
Thank you for popping on, and hopefully we can collaborate again in the near future. Right?
Let's hope so, yeah.
Good man. Thank you very much.
Okay,
And
mate.
maybe I'll see you in the summer with an exhibition stall at Hammer's
Yeah,
Chat.
let's hope so.
Good man. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
mate.
Take care.
Okay.
Cheers. Right then, don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just moving over to the side of the screen again in just a minute because there's someone else coming on. If you're new to Hammer's Chat, please do subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please do drop a like on the video as well. Thank you very much for joining us. Just want to say thank you to Clumpton for the support again, and also to Fly Fox say don't go to bed, and also to Chris for saying great show, and lastly to JM Plays FM saying I have nothing to say about today's business, but love to Hammer's Chat boys. All the best, Jamie M. Jamie, thank you very much. Very, very kind of you. Right then, Gary, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
To be honest with you, I was pissed off, but doing this, I've sort of calmed down a little bit. But if we were to talk purely about West Ham transfer business, you'd probably rile me up again, if I'm honest with you. It's sort of simmering in the background, my my anger at the moment. Anyone got any questions for this man? Please get them in to the live chat. There is a lot of love for you already. There's a lot of love. There's a lot of love.
Love it.
There's a lot of love. Cookie called you a criminal, but
I'm a criminal. I've admitted it on my own show. I'm one part of the underworld now, Gio.
Would you like to, for people that are unaware, would you like to give people a very quick update on what's happened?
Well, yeah, you will remember at home against Sunderland, there were two huge banners in the Bobby Moore lower. I carried one of them in, stuffed down the back of my coat. It was sticking out a long way. I mean, it was a huge thing, right? It was rolled up wallpaper, but it had all sorts of stuff in it, right? It was a very inoffensive sign, because otherwise I just wouldn't have done it, because you just get in trouble doing stuff like that. I didn't think I'd get in trouble. I thought the worst thing that happened would be it get confiscated. Didn't think it was dangerous or anything. Smuggled it in, smuggled it in. You could see it. I was like a hunchback. It was stuck out about 10 inches, 12 inches behind me. They even said, the club, when they wrote to me, we saw you make your way from turnstile F to whatever with a flag or banner concealed in your coat. Well, it weren't concealed very well if you could see it on the CCTV, was it? So anyway, I've appealed. They've banned me for 3 games, which unfortunately this time of year, the Man City game is miles away. And if you work it out, if I can't get a ticket to Villa, it's about a 10-game ban, not a 3-game ban, because they don't just ban you 3 home games. They ban you every away game that happens until the third home game, which is it just seems way over the top. I never held it up. All I did was carry it in. Also, the person I'd arranged to, to drop it off to weren't the one that got banned. It's like two of us. I am part of, I hang out with the craze now. You know what I mean? That's what I'm like.
And appeals submitted.
Yeah, it is submitted because honestly, it's just way over the top. Do I expect the appeal to be upheld? No, but I had to appeal because otherwise. Well, I just think I've never done anything wrong at football before. I've never actually fallen out with a club or been banned or anything before. I've been going 48 years. I paid £6,000 for my season tickets this year. I got 4 of them, and they're banning me for 4 games. And the worst thing is the account that I use, because obviously I don't use 4 seats myself. So I allocate, other than my son, I allocate the other 2 to whoever I'm giving them to this week, and they've taken away access to my main account where I control those tickets. And so I've just asked them really immediately to unlock those because they shouldn't be touching the other 3, right? I will think twice next season. In fact, I think I've already made my mind up with a friend who's got 2 and can't make it every game, that we might just share 2 season tickets, because the thought of handing over a big chunk of money at the beginning of the season, and then they decide whether they let you go to games or not, because it feels like they've just blown this out of all proportion. It's supposed to be a 3-game ban maximum, and it turns out I've got a 10-game ban. It's pathetic.
Yeah, and you're even banned from the not that you would go.
I can't go to the store. I can't. Yeah. I need to send someone else to buy all my stuff now, Gio. That's the heartbreaking thing. Yeah.
I'm surprised I'm not saying you must come into the store and spend money. That's your punishment.
They're rubbing it in though. They're still sending me vouchers saying, please come to the store. There's a special sale on. It's like I can't. What can I do?
I don't understand why they ban you from the club store. That feels like a strange thing to do. Like,
yeah,
why?
It is the last place on earth I'd go to though. At the moment,
I was going to. Never mind. I was going to spend $5,000. Don't worry about it. Yeah. It's just a very strange thing.
Exactly. I mean, the thing is, essentially, what they've done is ban peaceful protests, which I just think is just wrong, because that's what it was.
Yeah,
it was nothing more than that. They tried to start a rumor because officially I got banned for breaching health and safety, which is honestly, in the underworld, that's not given me a great reputation. It's not a great crime, is it? But they've breaching health and safety because the sign was too big, and then somebody at the club tried to start a rumor on Saturday night that it was passed overhead and therefore was a fire risk, as in rubbing up against people's hair or something. It's just like, give it up.
The thing is, though, there's also like the club do approve or allow other tifos to be present in the crowd, which is this isn't a criticism. It's a good thing to allow that.
Yeah.
But then it's like, well, you don't have an issue with oversized banners, do you? Because you allow oversized banners. So we can agree you don't have an issue with that. It's essentially you don't like what was on it, and therefore people are getting banned.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Nigel sent out some tweets on X the other day with lots and lots of examples of enormous banners that were tweeted out by the club or used in the club in marketing and stuff like that. So, it's nonsense, right? They were just trying to find a rule that they could ban us for. I don't know why. I mean, there's 2 of us and one other guy that they've made an example of. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they've done it, but literally nobody who actually held the banner up has been banned. Either of them, right? And I'm not encouraging the club to do that, but it just seems a bit weird.
Yeah. Anyway, from bans to transfer window or lack of activity in the transfer window, what have you thought about the month of January plus the 2 days in February?
It's been diabolical. I mean, let's be honest. We spent most of the window selling players or trying to sell players. I mean, we've tried to offload Callum Wilson for 3 weeks, tried to get rid of Magassa by the sound of it, and Mads Hermansen to bring in Kinski from Spurs, didn't quite get over the line. But on top of that, there's like 7 first teamers gone. Well, one of them was a first teamer once in Will Prowse and Andy Irvine. Igor, he did play a pass once, so you can call him a first team player. But 7 players out, and when you're fighting relegation and you need reinforcements, And the fact is, we had nothing on the bench to start with, Gio. Now we've got even less. And so we're one or two. I mean, Tadibo got banned. That has screwed us because we just signed Dizazi, who apparently wasn't keen to come here. I hope he does well. I hope he turns out to be brilliant, but he's not played a single minute of football this season. So he's going to be completely unfit, and he's got to go straight into the side. Otherwise, you play the nightmare duo of Kilman and Mavropanos, which nobody wants to see, right? Nobody wants to see. But I hope by some miracle it turns out to be brilliant. And we, this is a huge gamble. We know what Sullivan's doing. He's stripping it down in preparation for relegation. I mean, my own theory is he's just done nothing to keep us up at all. In fact, he's done the opposite, which makes me wonder what his motives are. But when you consider we've paid those 2 fees that we pay for Tati and Pablo, they can't be the fees. We can't have paid 50 million for 2 non-goal scoring strikers, one of whom cost 250 grand a year ago. That can't be the case. That must be just the numbers the club are giving out. Otherwise, there's something fishy with that. It's something really fishy that his price goes up 100 times in a year after he scores, 10 goals in the Portuguese. Yeah. That don't add up to me. So there's that. So let's just give him the benefit of that and say 47 million came in over a period of years. 62.5 million came in. 47 million went out. We've made a profit on a transfer window. If you only talk about transfer fees of 15.5 million, add to that 25 million saved in wages, we've made a handsome 40 million saving on players this transfer window when we're desperate, apparently, to stay up.
Yeah, I just struggle to understand what they're doing because, is Tati preparation for the championship? I don't believe he is. I don't think Tati will be here if we get relegated.
No, he won't. He'll be gone.
Yeah, for half price. So yeah. I think we're probably going to lose 10, 15. And this is the thing with the club that they're going to claim, we've spent 26 million on him. Okay, well, we'll use your fee in the summer. When you sign for 10 million, we'll say, well, you've lost 16 million because they do like to then change it as it goes later. Because Paqueta, when we signed him, it was like, 50 odd million. And when he was leaving, suddenly it was, no, we actually only paid 35 and the rest was add-ons and we've only met some of those clauses. So actually, we've pretty much got our money back. Because, that's funny, he didn't correct us when we signed him and you let everyone think it was 50 odd million. And it'll be the same thing again. So when they sell him in the summer for 10 million or something, then they'll come out and go, but it was never 26 million. It was 18 million and the rest was add-ons, which was never activated. But it just feels like they've not done enough to try and stay up and they've not done anything to prepare for the championship. It's just it's a very imagine the side we could have. I went through this with Chris the other night, and Chris's theory is he's selling a load of players now because he ain't going to get those prices again come the summer. I'm talking about Paqueta, about Guilherme. Because usually we give these players away for nothing, right? And that's what he'll end up doing. We'll get no more than 35, 40 million for Bowen when we go down, because we'll be on our arse. He'll make sure that everybody knows we're in that situation as well, because he always does. They'll know we're desperate. We've got a huge debt problem. We know that. So I think what he's trying to do here is literally, reverse the car and get us in some sort of position where he thinks the club might survive after relegation. Because at the moment, or before all this work, I was surprised if we have spent 50 million on those 2 players and committed almost, 40 million quid worth of debt to the future of the club. That's the last thing we wanted to do. The very last thing we wanted to do. But as it stands, Gio, we've got 3 players on 6-month loans, one of whom was on the Fulham bench, one who won't play a minute of football, one who won't be ready till next year. And we've got 2 strikers who don't score goals. And we've sent 10 players out the other way. It's a damning indictment of and it ain't even incompetence. I believe it's deliberate. Yeah, I think, I said post-Forest, when we got beat by Nottingham Forest, I could half get why they put the brakes on spending because we were 7 points behind them. I get why they might have thought, we're in trouble here. We're in trouble. Let's stick to the loan market or something. I get it, right? But then as soon as we beat Spurs and Sunderland, the attitude has to then change, which is, hello, we've got a chance now. Now we've got to go. And I think that's the most disappointing thing for me, that we've done nothing since Sunderland and we've got to deadline day and we're trying to convince someone to Disasi's options at the minute are to join West Ham or play no football for the rest of the season. And he's
Yes.
debating playing no football for the rest of the season.
I know.
That is where we are as a football club at the minute. But we've needed a centre back since the end of since the end of last season.
Yes.
Since the end of last season. I'm going back to May last year because we didn't get one in the summer. We got Igor, but he wasn't good enough. It was just a short-term fix, and he arguably wasn't even that. But no matter
the summer window was awful as well, though, right? You could see this coming in the summer. It looked like a stripped down job. That kind of Baldwin thing I said the other week. I mean, I couldn't figure out why they were getting rid of all these senior players, and I was blaming Potter. I thought it was him wanting a nice, quiet, set of lads that he could keep under control. It weren't him.
Yeah,
it was coming from the boardroom. So, they're going to get rid. They're going to flush out every one of them. Let's be honest. I mean, as soon as they go down, they're on half their wages. So even if the club don't want to sell them, the players are going to want to go.
Yeah.
So it's just I don't see us keeping anybody, Gio. We could be, I also don't think we're going to have any money to spend, even if we sell them all. So what we're going to do, we're going to be languishing down the bottom of the championship with a group of kids next year. Maybe.
Well, we might find out. We might find out, Gary. But before you go, Gary, last question from Reese. I'm asking every guest this evening. He wants to know what percentage would you put on our chances of avoiding relegation and remaining in the Premier League? It's been varying so far from 10% to 5% actually to 30%. So what are you pitching at?
It's tough, and I'll tell you why. We've got probably 20 points that are achievable out of the remaining games. We worked it out the other night. So we can only really afford to slip up. Well, we can't afford to slip up. The games that we're supposed to get points out of now, like if we don't beat Burnley and get maximum 3 points, it's game over, I think.
Yeah.
If we don't beat Bournemouth at home, it's game over. These are non-optional games now, right? On that basis, I don't think we're going to put a run together. We're going to slip up somewhere. I don't see us causing any great surprises with the remaining tough fixtures. We ain't beating Arsenal, we ain't City or Liverpool or anyone like that. It's not happening. So I'll go 10% as well.
Well, Gary, pleasure as always. We'll catch up very, very soon. But thank you very much. I appreciate you jumping on for it and having a chat with me. And enjoy the rest of your evening.
See you later.
Good man. Take care. Thank you, Gary, from the Bobby Moore Stand. Everyone, good YouTube channel. You haven't already subscribed to it. I've got a very special guest for you coming up in approximately 10 minutes. But before we do that, let me just draft in a regular from the channel. Frankie, how are you?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. A little bit of man flu, but I'm all right.
Well, park your man for a minute. Have I just interrupted you watching the West Ham under 21s game?
No,
Have
you
been
didn't. Unfortunately, I was looking at our fixtures after Gary was saying there, just doing a little tally up in my head. So
yeah, I mean the 3-0 up. We've been missing a good game. Whenever I don't do a watch along for the under 21s, they banging goals.
Yeah, everyone's banging goals. These boys are flying.
Yeah, but the game I missed is against Chelsea. 5 past Chelsea, then 2 past Norwich, and I watched them against Boston, and admittedly we got 2 goals in that game as well, and they're 3-0 up before halftime. La Madrid scoring for the under 21s as well, so it's a nice boost. But Frankie, I've been waiting for you because one of our under 21s player have left this evening. Adiele, the club have confirmed he's joined Utrecht. Are you disappointed to see him leave?
Yeah, a little bit. He's been quite pivotal to that team. He's quite a focal point. I think when we play matches, a lot of the play goes through him. I think he does a lot of good work. So yeah, I think he's a big loss, really.
Hey, I enjoy watching him play. I don't know if he'd ever. Is he good enough for like the senior team today? I'll be honest, I don't think he is. I think he's too small. I think he'd get walloped about. But when I watch under 21s, he's the one that I enjoy watching play the most. His stepovers are serious. They're not Adama Traore stepovers with his stiff legs, but they are proper at pace. But if you can do stepovers when running with the ball, like at good speed, you are a bloody good player. And he's just got that technique. And he had offers from Dortmund and Juventus as well, but he turned them down in order to go to Utrecht because the promise of first team minutes is on offer with the Dutch club. So he's opted to go there instead of either of the other 2 clubs, or to remain at West Ham United, really. So I think that's the frustrating thing for me, that some of our better young players are thinking they've got better opportunities elsewhere, or they'll get opportunities elsewhere, which I feel is harsh because I think Nuno's given some young players minutes this season, but just a bit I'm going to miss him the next under-21s game I watch.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Like I say, he's a fun player to watch as well. When he gets on the ball, he's bright. He goes forward. You know, there's a lot to like about him. But young kid with a clear ambition, and mate, I can never knock young players who have got an idea of where they want to go with their career. How many players have we said are going to potentially be our next big thing? And it sounds so harsh. The term springs to mind, left to rot in our under-21s for too long without getting opportunities. That's probably a bit much, but there are plenty of players who seem to have the world at their feet, never really got, and they get to 19, 20, and we're thinking, we're still not seeing them yet. They're still not coming through. What's happening with them? And then all of a sudden, they never really make it. So, look, you know, Connor Coventry's gone out. He's gone to Charlton. He's a little bit out of favour at the moment, as it happens. But they've been on a good little run the last couple of games. And, you know, he done what he had to do for his career. He felt going into League One. He's now found him in the Championship. Who knows where he ends up next? So, yeah, I don't knock any player who's got ambition, who thinks, look, I've got to take the reins off and go somewhere else to get first team football.
I'll say all month, we're in a different month, but since the January transfer window opened, we've been discussing how important it is to get a centre back in. Disasi may join, may not join. We've got an hour and a half to get it completed. Would you be satisfied if we signed Disasi and that's the only business that we've done today?
No, I'm definitely not satisfied. I don't really like the narrative either. Like last week, we didn't touch upon this point too much, but you know, people have come out and said, "Oh, you know, it's up to Nuno." If it's up to Nuno, we'd have signed 7 Portuguese players. All their agent would have been Mendes, and he would have had a nice payday. So the fact we've got no one suggests that it's not up to Nuno. It's up to the club, and we just haven't been prepared to. This was like after the sending off, that made today even more interesting for me. It was like you've got a 3-game ban. You've got to play a centre half that you're not 100% confident in, and that's down to him not selecting him. You know, it's clear that the manager don't really fancy him as your first choice centre half, and it was like, as Gary just said, every game that you're supposed to get matches in matters. Yet you've been happy to write off those next 3 games without that defender, even if you sign a centre half with, I don't know, just someone who you just think is going to come in now and really make. And even Tadibo, I know he's been on a fairly good run and he's been more positive. We're still leaking goals. Like, I wanted to see a bit of a statement and go, do you know what? We're banging him in one end. Let's bring in a man who's really going to shore it up at the other end. And that could be the difference between us staying up and not. But we haven't been prepared to roll the dice. I think the board have really shown that they didn't want to take that gamble. And they've just kind of left it up to the gods now, really.
Yeah. We're asking everyone, Frankie, before I let you love us and leave us. We'll do a podcast later this week and go a bit more in depth. But Reese is asking percentages. What percentage, what chance do you give us in staying up?
People have been a bit low for me. I saw a few comments, Mr. Happy. Sometimes I think I don't understand why I'm not the happy one.
I just want your honest opinion. I want your honest answer.
I'm giving you my honest. I think it's 60-40. That's where I am. I still think we've got a 40% chance we stay up. I thought you meant
60% chance of staying up. Like,
no,
But
I still believe, mate. I still believe. I've always believed. And just those little things in the last few games have given me even more hope. So, yeah. Look, if we won at Chelsea, I would have gone as far as saying it's now 50-50. That's where I would have been if we had beat Chelsea. But I'm now, 40%. I still think we can do it. Big win at Burnley, and on we go.
Good man. Well, Frankie, we'll catch up later in the week because I want to know your thoughts on Pablo's performance at Chelsea. Because I'll be honest, I liked it.
Incoming comments.
Listen, you either need to stick to your guns, or you're gonna have to say maybe he was a bit better than I thought he would be. So I'm looking forward to catching up this week and discussing.
Well, I saw a comment saying, "Is he still National League?" Well, I said Sunday League, so that's probably where he's gone from Sunday League to National League now. So we're improving. We're improving. We're getting better.
Bloody hell. Right, Frankie, thank you very much. Cheers. Thank you.
See you later on.
Right then, we're coming up to the end of the show. We've got 20 minutes left, but don't you worry. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I have saved the best till last. And I'm not talking about this man. I'm not talking about him, right? He's not the best till last. We've got a very special guest coming up for you in a minute's time. Gonzo, have we got a very special guest?
We've got a very special guest coming up for you in a minute's time, and it's not me.
Yeah, there you go. Shall we get him on? I think people are going
Let's
to
get
know.
him
Who
on.
it
They
is.
know. They know who's coming.
They know he's coming on. It's transfer deadline day, which means there's only one person that we want to invite. There's only one person that we want on this show. Chris Akabusi!
What you doing, fellas?
How you doing?
Where's Frankie gone? Where's Frankie gone?
We kicked him off to get you on.
Okay.
It's a deadline day switch.
Sorry, Frankie. Sorry, mate.
Look, out of Hammers Chat and West Ham, some of us can get things done on deadline day. Some of us can't, right? We get our shit done on deadline day, Chris. That's why we've got you on. That's why Frankie's away. We know what we're doing. We're a slick operation here.
Well done, fellas. Always good to be on your show. Good to see you looking smart and healthy and fit. Much better than our club.
I'm smart and he's healthy.
Yeah. I saw a thumbnail of you with the Sky Sports background of all your guys. I thought, my gosh, do I need to go and get myself changed up for these boys or what?
It's a very nice jumper, to be fair, Chris. You're all right there, mate.
Oh, fabulous moment. So anyway, how are you feeling about our great and glorious club?
Not so great at the moment, Chris. Not so great. What about yourself? I know you was down there for the Bournemouth game. I know because I know you went down there with somebody.
Yeah.
You went to Bournemouth away, and I feel we're seeing a bit of that, aren't we? Really, you know, we're going into the lead and we're not quite able to claw it back. So it's twofold, really. I've got frustrations with the manager, but even more frustrations with the board, to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a disappointing season. I mean, that's mildly put. It's been a disappointing season. I was fortunate enough to just be on when you had Gary, so I know the questions coming at the end. So I'll save my thought process about that one at the end. But it's been a disappointing season. But we are where we are. It's a long way from the promise of 2016 world-class team, world-class stadium. Let's put it that way. A very, very long way. And the post-mortem soon shall begin, I am sure.
Are you happy with the transfer window, Chris? Obviously got a couple of strikers in. Adama's come in. Might get a centre-back today. We might not. But a lot of players have left.
Yeah, no, not happy at all. I mean, it's just been par for the course. I mean, like most West Ham fans, it was great to see Tati and Pablo, in as much as not them specifically, but it was great to see the club doing business right at the beginning of the window. And I thought, oh, great, these guys are serious. I didn't know what the players were like. Haven't seen them. They're doing a job for us, but not the sort of job that I would have expected when you need to shoot goals. I mean, score goals. It's great. Not Bowen, but you're Bowen and Crescenzo, they've stepped up. But really and truly, I would have thought when it comes to the striker position, if we were serious about staying up, that we would have been getting a striker that's going to get 8, 9, and a tall order, I know, but 8, 9, 10 goals and get them in early. Now, I know, I've heard that John Duran, for example, is on the market, is looking for a club. Now, if we'd gone and got him with a Pagetta money at 45 grand and paid him the wage, I would have been seriously impressed and seriously confident that we can do some real damage. But we haven't. We've got two lads who are trying very hard. It can't be easy to come to a foreign country, to one of the best leagues in the world, and then to be asked to hit the ground running. One of them has, as far as endeavour is concerned, but neither of them seem clinical. And the other guy, well, I mean, I've got a club down the road here called Biggleswade. I guess I could have got someone from Biggleswade to do what he's doing. And I mean, it's a little bit naughty to say something like that, but the chances of him scoring, well, I'm not quite sure.
Let me ask you the question that you thought was coming at the end, then, because then we can have a conversation off the back of it, Chris. What percentage do you give us chance of staying up, what percent are you putting on it?
I'm going to put 20% in, as much as I'm going more, and that's me being optimistic, and I want to be more optimistic than everybody else. So I'm putting 20%, because you can never say never in this world. But I'm thinking to myself, seriously, let me ask you guys a question, and everyone that's watching. Do you think West Ham can get 10 points between now and the end of the season? What's the answer?
We could get 10 points. Yes.
Yeah, great. Exactly. So you think we can get 10 points? Guess what? Leeds and Forest also think they can get 10 points. If they get 10 points, we are snookered, because it means we've got to get 17. Bearing in mind that we've got to play Leeds on the last game of the season. Now, do you think we're going to get 17 points between now and the end of the season? That's a tall order. And that's why I only give it a 20% chance of us getting 70 points. And that is mild. If Forest and Leeds do better than 10 points, see ya. So let's wake up, fellas. It's great. We'll have a great run. We'll fight, and we'll get. We can get 15, 16 points, 15, 16 points, and it's not going to be good enough. So that's my point, is that we have, because of the infighting, and I think it is infighting, I think it's been narcissistic individuals, both the manager and at board level, infighting and cutting off noses to spite people's faces, and daredevil, okay, then I'm going to play the players in the wrong position, and you reckon we've got good enough players? Okay, what's this then? No, yeah, I could do it again then. What's this? This is what I want. Okay, I'll do it again then. It's just been ridiculous infighting with people that know better, and now we are in a position where we need 17 points out of the next 15 games. Or 14 games even. And we're playing Liverpool, Man City, and yeah, okie
Arsenal as well.
Arsenal. Well, there you go. So we got to turn something over. And okay, can I see 5 wins? Yeah, I can see 5 wins. That's 15 points. It's not good enough. I'm sorry, fellas. I'd love to be really.
No, we agree with you. We agree with you, Chris.
Sure. I think we've got a 5% chance of staying up. So yeah, honestly, you're Mr. Optimistic to me.
You're more positive than Gonzo.
Yeah. But that's something interesting you said there, Chris. Actually, because I actually thought part of the Kilman substitution was a protest from Nuno, almost saying to the board, I need another centre-back. It's funny you say that there, because I think there's actually been a lot of that there. And we've not had the wriggle room to be able to play with it, to be able to do that kind of stuff. There's not that. We've killed time. It's not just Nuno's fault. I thought the appointment of Nuno, we seem to think that we could waste the 3 games before that, when it was clear Potter couldn't get a tune out of the players. We've been happy to waste time. We've wasted time in the transfer window. We've wasted time appointing a new manager. We wasted time. It might well be that the new guy, Paco Rabanne, the new assistant manager, that he's helped him. So why have we waited so long to get a backroom team, to the manager? So everything has taken a long time. Nothing has been quick. Everything has been sloth-like. And yeah, I think there's been a lot of that, what you suggested, actually.
Yeah, see, time and time again, I've got the sense that we've been living in, I want to say we, the people that have been running the club, have been living in La La Land, thinking, I'm not going to say they think we're too good to go down, but they just thought we're not going to go down. It's not really happening. We'll turn it around in a minute. And we're living in La La Land and not reading the tea leaves, not seeing the very clear and obvious scenario, different this year than any other. The 3 teams that came up were no worse than the teams that are in the middle of the pack, which is us. I know that, no names, no patches, I know that at the beginning of the last few seasons, there's only been one task the manager has been given, and that is to play 10th. The whole budget is to be 10th, mid-table. Well, playing 10th and being mid-table is great when you've got Ipswich and all those bang average teams who are going to go back down again and not going to get more than 30 points. Yeah, play for 10th. You get 34 points, 38 points. It doesn't really matter. But what you had this time is you had 3 teams that came up really wanting to do well, including Burnley. And teams like Wolves and West Ham sitting on their laurels have had a big old smack in the mouth. And what was it that Tyson said? Strategy. Everyone's got a strategy until they get a smack in the mouth. And West Ham got a smack in the mouth. And by the time we woke up, old Brady thinks, oh yeah, my mate, we go for dinner, he'll be all right. Let's put in Potter. He'll be all right. Let's put in Potter. Oh no, we'll be all right. He's going to get it right. Give him a chance. And then we get the real smack in the mouth. They're going nowhere. We got a smack in the mouth in the very first game of the season against Sunderland. Right then, we should have gone, oh, hang on. What's going on here? And after about a couple of months, when Sunderland weren't coming back, you knew you were in trouble. Right then, Potter, see ya, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, it's that sort of stuff. The idea that you can say to someone like Alvarez, we don't need you. Well, actually, Alvarez is exactly the sort of person you needed. I know there's delicate issues around our captain. Like most people love Joe Bone, but we know he's not a captain. Somebody needs to save him from himself. And even if you said to Gerrard, excuse me, that's a Freudian. To Gerrard, you said, okay, you're going to be the captain on paper, but my on-pitch captain is Alvarez. Because what you need is somebody who's absolutely, I know like Tadibo, he's got set off, but someone like Tadibo, who would say to the gaffer, mate, don't do that. When we cross this line, this is what we're doing. You need somebody who's authoritative. You love Jared, but Jared is not going to go in at half time and say, Gaffer, we ain't playing defensive. Don't bring on Kilman. In a sports team, you know yourselves. I know without a shadow of a doubt, in that team, whether anything's being said or not, there are players in that team who look across there, and as soon as they see Kilman coming on, their heart drops. And I also know this, Kilman is also not impervious to it. He may have been a good player in his day, but right now, a lack of confidence, and you can't recreate that. He himself is going, oh, Gaffer, please don't. Oh, okay then. Okay, and he goes out and he does his really, really best, and he throws his around, but he knows I've got a ricket or two in me. And because you know the word, if you say don't make a ricket, what are you going to do? You're going to make a ricket. When Nuno says, oh, what, we're 2 up, we're 3 up, go out and don't let a goal in, you're going to let a goal in. It's the only thing that you can do. It's simple, basic sports psychology. You can't tell the players, don't do this. Or even if you've got a kid and it's carrying a glass of milk, don't drop the milk. It's going to drop the milk. So there's just such basic errors that we've done for the years. And look, love the boys. I think, this 4-4-2, go out and play, and you've seen what the players can do. You can see, actually, I'm going to contradict myself. You can see that really we are too good to go down. If somebody had just said, go out and do it. It reminds me when Glenn Roeder came. Sorry, I'm talking. But when Glenn Roeder came on in his very first season, go out and do it, boys. The boys cleaned up, and then Roeder's like, okay. Now this season, I'm gonna start managing. He starts managing, we go down, and that happened to Nuno. Nuno goes, go out there, go and do it, and we go, we do it 2 up, 3 up. Then the second half, okay, now I'm gonna start managing, and we go backwards.
Yeah, Arda Slot at Liverpool, funny enough, last season. Yeah, get out there and play. Do what you were doing anyway. And now he's got all, hold on a minute, I've got a plan. Yeah.
100% Arnie Slot, 100%. 100%. And you see it time and time again. And, all this conflict, the players can't be impervious when the board are not talking properly to the manager, and the manager is thinking up 2 fingers to the board. The players are not impervious to what's going on. And you've seen now, all of our star players are gone. Kudus, gone. Paqueta, gone. Alvarez, gone. All the real worth. This world class team in a world class stadium might have been the idea in 2016. It certainly wasn't by 2020. And I know we did very well in the European Trophy. That was by default, not design.
Yeah.
When there was nobody in the stadium, we'd go out there, we'd play attacking football and flipping. Jesse Lingard turns up and Moisey goes, yeah, check this one out. But the moment they started doing the design, this is where we are.
Yeah, I completely agree. Completely agree with everything you've just said. I think I agree particularly with that they're banking on the 3 promoted teams being that shite to just go straight back down. And this year, 2 of them in particular are good enough to stay up. And it's like, oh crap. And they had warnings and they ignored the warnings. But even coming into this January transfer window, they had a get out of jail card or an opportunity for get out of jail card because we were in touching distance and we still are. We're 6 points behind, fortunately. Arguably, we still are. But if you go back to the very start of the transfer window, there was more games to be played. And I still can't get over the fact that we beat Sunderland. And between then and Chelsea, we did nothing in transfer window. Nothing at all. And I said to Gonzo at the very start of the show, what if we did get in a Charlie Cresswell? What happens if we brought him on instead of Max Kilman? 2-1 up. You're getting on a centre-back who's got his chest out. He's feeling good. He's good in the air. He goes on. You might win that game. You might draw that game. And the conversation we're having today is completely different.
Yeah.
But they've done nothing. They've done absolutely nothing. They think they're too good to go down. Not we, West Ham United. Not the players. The board think the board are too good to go down. I think Karen Brady thinks she's too good at her job to go down. David Sullivan thinks he's too good as being a chairman of a Premier League football club to get relegated. They're sitting there going, fucking hell, Nuno's a bit shit. Bloody hell, Potter's a bit shit. Lopetegui's a bit shit. Tim Steiding was a bit shit. Everyone's a bit shit except us. We're the only ones in this club that are really good at their job. I genuinely think that's what they believe. And that's the most dangerous thing about this football club. I don't think they think it's their fault. I think they think it's everyone else's fault. They'll be sitting there going, these ungrateful supporters, look what we provided with this football stadia around the world that everyone knows about. Yeah, they all know about it for the wrong reasons. It's known widely as the worst. Ellis Platin's a big YouTuber in Britain. His football YouTube channel is called Away Days. And it goes all around European football, going to stadiums and telling storytelling in football. Did a video the other day. I visited the worst football stadium in the UK, and there's the London Stadium. He's got his Claret Blue scarf on. He's got nothing to do with West Ham. He's a Leeds United fan. There's no bias at all. Because it's like, oh, you are ungrateful, you West Ham fans. Well, what about the non-West Ham fans that are saying the same thing as us? We can't all be ungrateful. Because he knows what a good football stadium is. He goes to Ellen Road. He knows what a good stadium is. He knows what a good home crowd is. And that's what pisses me off more than anything, because we will go down this year and it will be their fault. But I don't even think they will. There'll be no self-reflection. There will be no accountability. They'll just... Between now and then, all they'll do is put out as many messages as they can to blame as many people as possible to justify relegation, rather than in this window taking accountability at the very start of it, saying, right, how the fuck do we get out of this? Who do we need to get in? How much do we need to spend? What does the gaffer need? Let's do everything we can. We've come out of a January transfer window where we're staring relegation in the face, and we've made a profit, and we've got less players than we had at the start of the window.
So, Gio, I think therein lies the real. I actually think they think we are down. I don't. I think all of that would have been correct in the beginning of the season, but I think. Well, in fact, I know. I know that a very senior individual in the club thinks we are down, and. Well, that we're banging trouble, and that we are down, and you can see it in our transfer policy. It's hidden in plain sight. You can see that nobody really believes this team's staying up. I've got to be circumspect about what I say, but that's what I'm telling you. There's nobody. I can't say nobody, but the person I'm thinking of. We are banging trouble, and we are down.
But the problem is with that, and I believe you. The problem is with that is you've then got to have the courage, once you've accepted that, to accept that, and then plan and think, right, okay. So it's almost like they're not admitting for that. So they're not doing enough to keep us in the Premier League, but they're also not planning for next season in the Championship either, so we're in this halfway
Well,
house of doing nothing.
I think they might be doing dip and crossing their fingers and hoping.
Yeah.
And I think that they may think they will hold on to not Fernandez and Crescencio or Bowen, but we may hold on to some of the other players like Magassa and Potts and stuff, and that we are good enough to come back up. I think that might be an idea, that we might be able to be good enough to get back up. People like Wilson staying on board, so the wages will reflect a championship side rather than a Premier League side trying to stay 10th. Just look at the transfers.
Yeah.
Look at the money that's gone out, and look at.
They made a profit. They made a profit.
Yeah,
when they should have spent everything to try and keep us up. They're clawing money back.
So that doesn't tell you that these people really, really believe that we're staying up. They're hedging their bets already.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so carry on, fellas.
I was going to say, it's not just lack of belief, it's lack of desire.
Yeah.
It's lack of care, because if they wanted to, between them, the board, the owners, and I include them all, I include Kutinsky in this, I include the Gold Estate in this, all of them. Sullivan will get most of the blame, and he should, but it's all of them. They're all culpable.
Yeah.
They could have, if they wanted to injected a bit of money into the club. They've got up to 90 million they can put in. That counts towards PSR, and as boring as that is, it's a lot of wiggle room. But the way that it's done in accounting, if you buy a player for 50 million over 5 years, only 10 million of it is attributed. So even if you only put in 10 million, in theory, you can get a player for 50 million on a 5-year contract, and PSR is okay with it. But the money that we spend, we've actually recouped more, but the money we spent in January, it's the club's money. It's money that had sat in there, and this comes off the back of a self-inflicted sell-to-buy policy in the summer. And as a result of that self-inflicted policy, we missed out on players like Diarra, who went to Sunderland. We went to Sunderland and got walloped by them on the first day of the season, with Diarra having an absolute screamer against us, a result of our self-inflicted policy. Come into this window and got in 2 strikers quickly, is almost to say, oh, look, we're serious about staying. Look how serious we are about staying. We're going to back the manager. And then they've done nothing since. They've gone and got Adama Traore because he was only 2 million. Took a punt on a youngster who's scored for the 21 tonight, which is good. But Sullivan was telling people, oh, it's a 6-month loan. He's going to be ready in 1 year. He's not even going to be here in a year. What kind of stupid deal's that? Honestly, how stupid are you? So it's all illusion. At the start of the window, look at this. Look at us spending money. But then since then, all they've done is sell as many players as possible because of the bad mismanagement of the football club prior to the January transfer window. Last year, we've still not announced the accounts out of shame and embarrassment. They usually come at the end of December. They've been put back to the end of February out of shame, because it's going to show that we've lost 100 million last year. This year, we'd expect to lose just as much because of years of mismanagement, years and years and years of getting away with it. It's finally caught up with them. It's all of it's coming back to bite them on the arse in one big season. Everything, your poor squad building, your poor recruitment of managers, you pissing money up the wall left, right and centre, not being able to sell players, everything's coming back to bite them in the arse in one season. The result is off to the Championship, off you fuck, and you've got a fan base more disengaged than ever before. Apathy set in. And we're not even relegated yet, and people are already accepting relegation, and they're fed up of relegation. We're not even relegated. We're already fed up of it. Years
and that's what I was thinking while you're talking about, 4 managers in 2.5 years, one worse than the other when it comes all defensive. If you don't believe, you've tried that strategy because you thought it was going to keep you up in 10th place. It's not this year. Nuno's got 3 players that he's wanted. Yeah, with Pablo Tato and what's his name, the big fella. Okay, they've done their bit. We've saved money. We've got okay, Nuno, you asked for these 3 players. There you go. Off you go, and you can take a step. I'm not saying this last bit is in my head. I've not heard this, but okay, Nuno, there you go. You got your players. Let's see what you can do. You've taken us down on your CVs. Nuno won't care. Nino will go off and he'll be managing in Portugal, Italy, or whatever. He won't care, but it will be on his CV that it took us down. We are the ones who are going to have to deal with the outfall. And again, I'm making this up, so I don't know. I'm wondering if deep down there's this Schadenfreude amongst the board against the fans. Okay, you've gone on this, not supporting me. You've gone trumpeting BS out.
Yeah.
BS out. Okay, let's see. How's these apples? How's these apples in the Premiership? You have some of that then, son. Premiership, sorry, in the Championship. Have some of that. You know, I'm making it up, but the unintended consequences. Okay, I don't really want to go down. Didn't plan to go down, but we're banging trouble. We're going to go down. Okay, well there you go, fans. Have some of those apples, son. It's Schadenfreude, but sometimes Schadenfreude is a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. Now, when I say I don't care, actually, well, it's true. In a way, I don't want to go down. So I'm not going to. I don't want to go down. But in a way, if we went down, I'd go and get my season tickets again. I would very happily go and watch West Ham, Southampton, Leicester, travel the country, and watch football on a Saturday and a Wednesday. Yeah, I'd watch that. And if it took us 2 or 3 years to come up, or if we never came up, I'm 67. If I kick the bucket at 82, I've not seen a Premier League game since then. I don't care. I will get my tickets if that'd be me and one from a lad. I'll get my tickets. It'll be a lot cheaper, and I'll go and see football on Saturday. So why I don't want it, and I've enjoyed the Premier League journey. Those apples won't worry me, mate.
Yeah. So we are BS out, and they're PL out. Wonderful. Gonzo, you've sat there quietly waiting.
Sus, mate.
Yeah, no, I just thinking about the messaging, and we spoke about the messaging with what did the messaging of bringing Max Kilman on as a substitution make at the weekend. It told the opposition that we were going to sit back. It told the Chelsea fans that we weren't going to have a go. It told our fans not to have any ambition. It told our own players to sit back. But I'm just thinking about the messaging now. If I was a Leeds or a Nottingham Forest fan today, in this last hour, I know it finished at 7 o'clock, I'd probably be looking at West Ham's business quite closely. And I think I'd look today and go, good. Well done. I think if I was the owner of either of those clubs, I'd be looking and saying, there's the messaging. I think we got this, fellas. Honestly, I think if I was Leeds or Forest now.
Well, the funny thing is, Leeds haven't done any business. They've took Buonanotte on loan. I think they are looking at us going, they ain't staying up.
They're not saying,
we don't need to spend money. We're all right.
It's obvious. Yeah, I think this is obvious now. That, and I don't. Do I watch it that closely? Has there really been another league like this where this has happened? Where I think, and this will happen very, very soon, but there'll be no one above us that'll have any worries at all. And the season will just play out. It's a weird situation, but I'd be absolutely delighted. And I just think the messaging that the board have sent to Leeds and Forest is horrendous, actually, today. They've not even said we're up for the fight.
Yeah, well, both Leeds and Forest have got more than a point a game, and generally a point in the game is enough to stay up, right? Yeah. So if they look at the way their season's panned out, it's not Leeds has had a great season, but Forest has not been a great season. But they are probably thinking we will get a point a game because we've always been thereabouts a point a game, 38 points in the season. As I've already told you the equation. We've done nothing to suggest that we want 40 points. We've done nothing to suggest that we want 40 points. And so I have you guys right. Why would I go spend more money in this window? You know, I reckon we can get 10 points.
Yeah.
It's basic. It's simple. It's the fact that our board and our manager has not sat down and thought, we got to get 40 points. We better spend a bit of dough. We better go and get. But then again, if I was Forest and you know that the manager is going to bring on Kilman in the second half and lose it. We've done, how many times we've done it? We've lost 18 points to winning positions. How many times have we done it this season? So, I think it might have been you, Gonzo. You quoted once on one of the things about it was a lovely clip from the Crying Game with the scorpion and the
the scorpion and the frog. Yeah. The river. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was you, wasn't it? Yeah, it was great. And it's great. It was one of my favourite clips on the Quine game. And it's true. It's in his nature.
Yeah.
He can't help it. I was at the Sunderland game. We're 3-0 up and we start defending a 3-0. We're winning. It's in his nature.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there's no, unless Paco's obviously got slapped down because of Sunderland. And that's what I'm saying. It needs somebody, a player on the pitch. So forget what he said. That's what we do. It needs Lucas Neal. Forget what they're saying. It's what we're doing, mate.
I remember we used to do podcasts with Anton and regularly, so it was quite good because I was able to ask him certain questions about the behind the scenes at West Ham, depending on what was going on. So I think Antonio ended up having a row with someone at West Ham. So I said, "Oh, what happens at the football club? Like behind when that happens?" And he's like, it's kiss and make up pretty quickly. It's not a big deal. But one thing he used to repeat a lot was that the players were sick of Alan Kirbishley. They were like, they basically held their own meeting. Lucas Neal led it and basically said, anyone that don't want to be here, go out the room. And that's okay. So we're not going to fall out. No one's going to know you've gone out the room. But if you don't want to play for West Ham, go out the room. And it's okay. We get it. It's fine. And then everyone stayed in the room and basically said, we're going to stop listening to him now. He's going to pick the team and that's it. He's going to pick the 11 and we're going to do our own tactics. And then they started winning. But then Kirbishley got applauded, so Kirbishley just sort of left them to it because Kirbishley was like, well, I look fucking good. So the players were going out and winning. Kirbishley was getting praise, and everyone was a winner, really. But Lucas Neal ended up taking charge because we got beat. The games in particular, we played Charlton away, and we had Kirbishley, and then they had Pardew's manager. So it was like quite a big game. And we got absolutely annihilated. And Anton said in the change room, Kirbishley was a bit like, oh, we need to be doing a bit better. And Anton said, what are you doing? What's this about? Like, we're shit. Like, rip into us. Give us a bollocking. And Kirbishley said, well, I think you were pretty shit. So Anton was like, well, tell me then. Don't just stand there whimpering. Like, lay into me. But he wouldn't really have a go at the players or anything. So in the end, the players took charge and started doing their own tactics, and the rest is history.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When I said about Todibo and Alves gets the tin tack because he has a go at Potter, and he tells Potter exactly what he's thinking. You are, I don't swear, but you're a crap manager. We can't be playing this way. Let's do this. Okay, you can do one. And Todibo had a scrap with Lopetegui because these are the sort of guys who will tell you to your face, mate. I'm not going to talk in a locker room around the walk on. Oh, what do you think about that? No, to your face, mate. And again with Jared, he's not going to do that. No. He's not going to have the Lucas, and it's not his fault. He's a lovely bloke. He's a lovely bloke. He's an honest, hard-working professional who fronts up against the camera and he says, it's not good enough. He says all the sort of nice things to the camera, but it's what he needs to say to the manager and how he needs to grab hold of the players. So I'm going to fight for you, Jared.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight for you, Jared. I've got your back. Yeah? You saw Todibo against, Big Hulk starts to scrap. And the Todibo goes in there. He goes in there. You ain't messing with my blokes, mate. It's that sort of, and okay, it's a little bit over the top, but that energy, that thought process, that in the face of the manager. When we cross the line, Gaffer, this is our pitch. You've done your bit. Thank you very much. Yeah, this is us. We're crossing the line. We're doing, if we mess up, we'll take it on the chin.
Yeah.
Because we are good enough. We are clearly good enough. If you stop playing Championship Manager, we are good enough.
I'm not even good enough. I'm not even good enough at Championship Manager, to be fair, Chris. I can't say anything. I can't say anything. I'm not going to lie. I played it for the first time the other day in years because I was debating doing a little series on it. Because I was thinking, what could we do a bit different on the Hamish chat? And I just got dicked 5-0 by Forest.
But it's very realistic.
Well, the interviewer after said, oh, you had 70% possession, but you didn't score a goal. Is this your style? I was like, sorry, what? Why is Football Manager having a go at me here? They're calling me out. Football Manager's having a go at me. But it's very realistic. I loaded it up and it started as West Ham manager, and I got a transfer budget of 4 million.
Brilliant.
So at least it was realistic in that sense. But Gonzo, anything you'd like to add before we say goodbye to our incredible guest?
No, just very, very disappointing. Listen, Chris, thank you so much, mate. You were, well, pretty much our first guest, and we thank you for that, mate. When we had 27 viewers, and you know, you came on and you said some lovely things, and we clipped it and we put it up on the internet and said, look, it's Chris Akabusi. Look, he's on Amazon. So we're always a pleasure to have you on here, mate. Absolutely delighted to have you, and it's become a tradition. So thank you so much, mate.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be there next year wherever we're playing, mate. I'll be there next year, so I look forward to it. Yeah, thank you very much, fella. Keep up the good work and keep the chin up. Yeah.
Good
Cheers,
man,
mate.
Chris. Thank you very much. Good night.
God bless you guys.
Thanks,
Bye.
mate.
There we go, Gonzo. The end of the show. We might have the sassy. It sounds like everything's done. The deal sheet's saying it's just getting all the signatures. T's crossed, I's dotted. But it looks like the sassy is going to be a West Ham player.
Yeah. Look, we need a centre back, but you know, I don't want to sort of sugarcoat it. It seems like he didn't want to come in. I don't know what demands he possibly could have been making.
Well, I thought that. I thought
It's a loan
you just
deal.
had the
He
same wages.
Well,
It was
same
just
wages.
Who pays you? The
What else is what? Taxi to and from the training ground. I can't imagine there's too much more once you got beyond that. Weird. Does he insist he's got to play? That might be a thing that I could understand. If he's not had any game time at Chelsea, I want to play in half the games or whatever. I can understand that if that was the case, but I can't imagine it's anything money wise because you can't. You can't. I don't think you legally can. I think you have to be on the same contract you're on at Chelsea if it's a loan deal.
I think you can still do. I could be wrong. I think you can still do.
Little backhand.
I don't know if you want to call it a signing on fee, but I think you can still pay the agent.
Oh well, we're good at that. So
I think the agents can still get paid. I could be wrong,
but
I think the agents can still get paid for their work in.
Well, I'd say I bet I possibly they have. Let me just put it that way.
So I don't know, but that I think that's the case. Right before myself and Gonzo wrap it up, I just want to say thank you because we missed. I just missed a few live super chats there. Jamie saying nothing to say about today's business, but love to Hammer's chat. All the best, Jamie, and also to Cookie. Saying great show tonight, and thanks to all the guests. Chris, love hearing from a proper Olympian. Oh, he's gone. Sorry, Cookie, who truly loves West Ham and happy to talk in bad times as well.
He does.
He's always
whether we're winning or losing.
Here's
always great.
Here's something I'll tell you actually.
Yeah.
When I first messaged Chris about tonight, he said, "Oh, I've got a show." He's doing an event in Surrey. He said, "I won't get back till 6:30." I said, "Well, if you can make it for 7:45, that's the latest slot, really, because we want to be wrapped up." We ended up speaking much longer than we thought. But I said, "If you can, great." I said, "But also, you're working all day. I completely understand if you don't want to come on." Anyway, so he was due on at 7:45. At 7:30, he came into the background. I hadn't even had Frankie on. Frankie was waiting to come on next, and Chris Akabusi joined as well. So I thought he's turned up really early. He's just at an event, God knows where. Rushed back, come on here and spoke with us. He's
Chris Akabusi was like a god to me when I was growing. I've got a lovely picture. I've got 3 pictures. I think one of them I'm 8 years of age with Chris. I think another one I'm 10. There's another one when I'm 13. Right. So Chris's auntie and uncle, I think they used to live in Barkingside. So he used to be in Barkingside a lot. And I went to school in Ilford. So he used to come to schools a lot, and I was in the athletics club. If people know where the swimming baths is in Ilford. I was a member of the athletics club. I used to run at 3A's level. I was at the athletics club, the running track right behind the swimming baths. Honestly, he was so it's incredible. It's actually incredible to have him on here. I tell you now, when we won the 4x4 in Tokyo and won the gold medal at the World Championships, and the leg he ran in that, I was blubbing. I'll tell you that now. So yeah, he's a big hero of mine, Chris Akabusi. I'll tell you that now. And I've told him all this stuff. I'm not telling you guys that. I've told him that plenty of times.
Anyway, the last thing I want to say is thank you to you guys. Thank you to you guys at home. Thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for supporting us throughout the transfer window. It's been a busy one, busier out than it has been busier in. But it's been a busy transfer window, but just lacking a bit of excitement, lacking a punch that a transfer window should bring with you. Is it the circumstances around West Ham? Is it the circumstances around the transfer window in general? Is it whatever? But it's just been lacking it. But we'll do that post-mortem tomorrow onwards, where we will probably have a new signing in Disassi. But thank you very much for joining us, Gonzo. Thank you as always.
Thank you,
And,
mate. Thank you.
Do you know when we're doing a cup of tea yet?
Yeah, Thursday night. Sorry, Thursday night, 7 o'clock, and we'll obviously take a lot of questions. So yeah, look forward to seeing you then.
Perfect. Well, we'll be doing content in the meantime, but we'll be live on Hammers Chat Forum channel. There's 2 channels. Make sure you subscribe to that one. We'll be live at 7 o'clock on Thursday. So thank you very much. We appreciate you can join us. Until next time, myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit. Bonus content for anyone that's not left. Bonus content.
Oh, blimey!
Everyone's half the people have left, but the people that are still here. Brian wants Disco Sperm, right?
I saw it on the chat.
Disco Sperm's not coming out.
What's coming out?
I've got a mate for Disco Sperm.
Go on.
Disco Sperm has got a friend. It's called Space Duck. Now, let me just create some space. This duck.
You need to get me off the screen.
Yeah. Let me get you off the screen. Are you ready for Space Duck? Let me just move the camera because Space Duck moves more than Disco Sperm does. Are we ready for the debut of Disco Duck? Let me adjust. Right, here we go. This is Disco Sperm's mate. We've got a new assistant. We've got a newbie for the under 21s. Watch along. Let me get my finger on the button. Here we go. Let's go. Do you like it?
Where did you get Disco Duck from?
Where
did you get him from?
Amazon.
What were you searching for?
I'll tell you how I came around. I came about Disco Duck. So obviously we've got Disco Sperm, named by the subscribers. I don't call it Disco Sperm. So this is because we went to a friend's house. This came out the toy box, and obviously Lauren knows about Disco Sperm. I don't know how, but it came on our TikTok. This was on her TikTok. Because obviously she's a mum now, so I think like stuff for toddlers and stuff.
Yeah.
She ends up. So she sent me a link to Space Duck doing his moves, and I thought I've got to have him. And yeah, I love him. I absolutely love him.
I've got to tell you something. I haven't told you this. My daughter, youngest daughter, did a video of herself, filmed a collection of lip balms or nail varnish. She's done 2 videos, right? Right? It's got uploaded one yesterday. I mean, it's literally her filming I think they're lip balms or lipstick. It's just a row of stuff. They're all different colours, 1 or 2. She said, "Oh, I started my own channel. Got 3,000 views from nowhere. I mean, nowhere. She started her own channel yesterday. Uploaded this thing yesterday. 3,000 views
on YouTube.
On YouTube.
That's incredible.
I know. That's what I said. Hold on a minute.
That's actually really impressive.
That's what I thought. And because when she said it to me, because kids they say a lot of stuff, don't they? And I thought, oh, she's exaggerating it. And then, hold on, give me your phone. But hold on, put the phone down. Hold on, open up the laptop. Huh?
Does she want a job as like
That's it.
Hammer's Chat social media manager?
I think so. Something like that.
Yeah, I think we need to recruit her to do
Yeah.
our social
Yeah,
media.
honestly, just for a kind of say, just before you go, so I'll be up. I'll go in. I'm sort of Chris Akabusi's waiting, and we, so there's be a few. And she said, I've got 14 subscribers.
Listen, you'll start somewhere.
I know. She done well.
Sweet Kate, thank you very much. The Duck is energetic and good on his feet. Let's sign him. Yeah, there you go. That's my. That's my January transfer window purchase.
It's very good.
Right. There's no more second encore. Thank you very much. Myself and Gonzo. Catch you in a bit.